We gotta say welcome along. First things first, brother Owen Art in the studio since 8. Give us some rough house music this morning. Okay, London. We got a new phone number today for you. So, you know, once I take off my coat and ting, let's take a little listen. We'll be back on the other side. Fire keep burning, can't cool. Yo, and the more them type of children, and the more we live longer. More them type of weak, and the more me get stronger. More them type of fool, and the more me get wiser. Can't cool, fire red trigger on the street. And the more them type of top with, and the more we reach further. More them type of kill me, and the more me live longer. More them type of weak, and the more me get stronger. Can't fool, fire red trigger on the street. And the I try to reach, and I know the youth them see them say one, but the fire call and one teach. And the I try to reach, and I know the youth them see it. We can't free freedom, so we must free to speak. And the I try to reach, and I know the youth them see it. Them say one, but the fire call and one teach. And the I try to reach, and I know the youth them see it. We can't free freedom. Yo, righteousness listen up, and them come reject. Be a corruption, you see, say them a accept. But them earwaves and them internet. And what them can live by, then a totally mess. Be a mill of them right, telling of them concept. Be a propaganda, them spreading at the press. Okay, we gotta say welcome along to the People's Talk Show. 91.6 FM is in the house. It's your time, London. You know I will love to say it. Run next door, run upstairs, on top of the roof, run outside, stop the first car you see and let them know People's Talk Show is in progress. Say it's your time. Get your pen and your paper and I'll give you the number very, very soon. And we also got a little news bulletin for you. And remember, you know, it's your time, London. Whatever you have to say to us, whatever you want reasoned about, whatever you need us to know, then we're here. Say to the whole of the management, to the whole of the behind the scenes workers, engineers, etc. And a special extended yow goes out to the proprietor of Genesis Radio. Them at the best. Oh, them want to live like the wild west. Every year them get up gunshot, them want press. So them shot you in your face, them shot you in your chest. But them Selassie is BIS. What is rightful yours so that them want come back. In the back of Mr. Capleton there, see, the more them try. Okay, we got to say also, if you was listening yesterday, we had the Asura Set Society representing, and there is the Black Mental Health Day today, started an hour ago, 10 o'clock. This is part 2, and there's workshops down there, Chai Kong, meditation, yogic breath, body sculpting, and super male vitality. These are just some of the things they're covering today. That's down at the Sojourner Truth Community Center. If you're not going to go down there, then just jam with us. And we'll be getting them in here this evening and getting a feedback on our black men. Yeah, well, they say the old trick of divide and rule is still valid today in the West, you know. So them say divide them and incite them against each other, encouraging murder among themselves. And then they say murder among black cases should bear up a really good punishment, you know what I'm saying? Then they implement methods like fertility destruction, fertility destroyer. So they say they will smuggle the drugs through the booze and through the drinks gear and through the food. So they say through the channel of black this will reduce their population. And they are also investigating the merit of uterus rental through surrogate mothers to speed up the growth of their population. So I do it knowing the reality of life and still try to oppose them. Okay, London, you got your pen and your paper ready? That number, saying, is 07940 186 067. That is 07940 186 067. People's Talk Show. I'm going to hook up the phone in just a little minute. I've got a couple of articles to read to you first. And then, as I said, it's your time, you know, whatever you want to talk to London about, whatever you think is important or imperative or that we need to hear, then give us a bell on that number and you can get through and you can have your say, because this is, after all, the People's Talk Show. To all of the presenters, all of the music players, on all of the community stations, okay? Big up and keep doing what you're doing as long as it's positive and correct for the community. Well, we got to say to all of our young people listening, tuned in about now, People's Talk Show time, seeing your time as well. If there's anything you feel you can't talk amongst big people,
All is your time. You can phone us anonymously and, say what you have to say. Just some points of information for you all, London. Just let me get this mic right. This is the Times, the Times newspaper. Lynching photos revive America's shameful past. Crowds have been queuing at a tiny gallery on New York's Upper East Side to see America's first exhibition of the macabre genre known as lynching photography. The 64 black and white pictures in the one-room Rolf Harowitz gallery recall an era when photographers set up their darkrooms in tents at the scenes of lynchings, posed the corpses and printed postcards to distribute to bloodthirsty crowds. An estimated 4,742 black people were strung up by white mobs between 1882 and 1968, but many of the commemorative photographs have been destroyed out of shame. The rare pictures on display in New York provide an insight into a time when it was said in the Deep South, kill a mule, buy another, kill a nigger, hire another. One postcard shows the charred corpse of Jesse Washington, a 16-year-old who was lynched and burnt in front of 15,000 people in a courthouse square in Waco, Texas, on May the 16th, 1916. On the back, a spectator has written, "This is the barbecue we had last night." Another postcard from the 1910 lynching of Alan Brooks says, "Dear John, this is a token of a great day we had in Dallas. March the 3rd, a Negro was hung." Small as it is, the pioneering exhibition and its accompanying work without sanctuary has stunned blacks and whites alike. Over the past month, more than 5,000 people have squeezed into the gallery and left sobered. The faces of the people who are watching suggest they were just not even aware that this was a human being that had been murdered, said Emily Anderson, a black college professor, clearly shaken. It's a very weird feeling to see the men and the women standing around smiling while someone is being burnt and killed. John Allen, the Georgia antiques dealer who spent 15 years assembling the collection, was not aware that lynching photography existed until a fellow dealer brought a desk to his shop. In a drawer was a picture of the lynching of a Jewish man named Leo Frank, who had been killed in Marietta, Georgia in 1915 by a mob who suspected him of murdering a Christian girl. 2 years later at a flea market, he found a photograph of the corpse of Laura Nelson swinging from a bridge in Oklahoma. She had been lynched with her teenage son on May the 25th, 1911, after someone shot a sheriff searching their cabin for stolen livestock. That proved to me that there was a tradition of this type of photography, Mr. Allen said. Helped by John Littlefield, he set up to collect the relics from a time America would rather forget, sometimes paying as much as $30,000, as he said. In America, everything is for sale, even national shame. Although a newspaper photograph of a 1960 lynching is the latest in the collection, many consider the 1998 death of James Beard in Jasper, Texas, at the hands of 3 whites who hauled him behind their pickup truck with a chain to qualify. In many respects, it has not stopped, Mrs. Anderson's husband, a banker, said. When people hear the anger expressed in various forms by African Americans, there are reasons: resentment, distrust. Sometimes you feel we are the most forgiving people in the world. An article from the Times talking about a museum that's been open of lynch photography, back in the day lynching. That's one of the things that I wanted to bring to your attention. You hear there, one of the commentators said, nothing's really changed. Situation is still the same. Is it? You will give us a call and tell us what you think. You know what, I'm going to hook up this live link now and hear what London's got to say. We need some phone checks on the north, the south, the east and the west. And just make us know how we're sounding out there. London, let's take some phone calls. That's a 079-401-86067. That is, again, 079-401-86067. And amongst these things that we have to, discuss and reason on, and we need some phone checks, and I need to hear from you what you're saying out there in the community. How has it been for you? How's the week been? What's happening? Everything, Chris? Let's take this call. Good afternoon, caller. Caller, you dropped out. If you'd like to try again. I hope this phone's going to just be correct today. Saying? Yes, as we were saying, how was the week for us, London? What's been happening? In this month here, February has seen, the resignation of the head of the CRE, the stepping down of the... Good morning. Okay, caller, if you'd like to try again, let's see if we can sort this thing out. There's no reason why it shouldn't be on, actually. But get some phone checks, London, 079-401-86067. Let's try it. Good morning, caller.
A phone check, Southeast London, Camberwell. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, my brother.
Yeah, phone check from Camberwell. I'll ring later about lynching and forgiving.
How we sounding out there, though?
Very clear. I can hear you very clear on the radio.
Okay, nice one, my brother.
Okay, keep up the good work.
Thanks for the phone check. Okay, first phone check of the morning. Brother T out there in the Southeast London region saying, yep, he can hear us loud and clear. Give us a phone check, London. East, west, north. How we sounding out there? Are you picking us up loud and clear? And again, whilst we're waiting for some phone calls, we've got to say to all of the community organisations, to everyone that's trying a thing out there to represent in the community and to, put something back into our community. To maybe give our children an example, or give the young people, if we don't have children of our own, something to aspire to. So to all of you all out there that's doing that, hold up your head and keep doing what you're doing. London, north, south, east, west, what you saying? You want me to just talk, or haven't you all got something to reason on? A lot has happened. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot more going on. Let's start then in a time when a lot of children have just finished changing or applying to get into the school of their choice. Many parents inside the London area are very disappointed in that they have not got their children into the school that they wanted to. Okay? And a head teacher said to myself not long ago, there's a problem in that the schools in most of the boroughs that are underachieving, according to this school record, most of them, our children end up in these schools and they get second-rate teaching. Now maybe you would hear the education authorities saying, well, it's a lack of resources, it's a lack of that, it's a lack of this. But the schools that are repeatedly failing, okay, in the league tables, for example, Catford Girls, okay, repeatedly failing, and we're getting our children being forced into these schools, and all of the schools that have the resources, they can choose who they want nowadays. It's gone. If you're a parent and you've gone through the process, let us know. How did you find it? Because we found that you could be living next door to a school and they can still refuse entrance to your child and say, well, your child is not in the catchment area. Ludicrous. You can live next door to the school of your choice and your child cannot get in there, and your child has to end up going to a school that's 3 miles away. This is the present education system. Have you all had the experience? Have your children got into their first choice? And if not, where does it leave parents? These parents that are saying, well, I'm not sending my child to that school. From I know it's failing, why bother send my child there? Where does it leave them? What's the choices for them? We get back to the problem again of schooling. Our society, our community, setting up schools for ourselves. We should have a selection of schools in our community because we're so diverse. It's not happening. We're still relying on other people to teach our children and to bring them through and to help them become responsible men and women. Or maybe it's time for us to do our own thing. Give us a call, London, tell us what you got to say. 07940186067. That is 07940186067. People's Talk Show. Now I can't believe that you all are just going to sit down there and know that it's your time, it's your talk show, and boy, you're going to keep silent. Well, okay, I've got some more information for you. Remember this man that headed the Stephen Lawrence inquiry? His name was MacPherson. We've all heard in the last week, well, in the last month, you know, this MacPherson report, and you know what he was supposed to have said to the police. Let's try this call. Good morning, caller. You're in tune to Genesis.
Good morning, brother.
Yes, my brother. Good morning.
Let's give you a phone check.
Okay, how we sounding out there?
All right.
Okay.
A nice to hear brother Trevor voice just now.
Innit? Long time he hasn't phoned, eh?
Yeah. I know brother Trevor usually listens, right?
For real?
Yeah, but you like your lynching. You can talk about the lynching, you say, innit?
Okay.
All right. No, brother Trevor said
he's gonna, yeah, he will. And he will phone back still.
Yeah.
Right. See? So we're sounding Chris out there.
Yeah, sounding Chris, because I can update down really having doing, man. I just checked it.
Okay.
All right.
Nice one, my brother. You were hearing it there from the south region. We're sounding nice and crisp. Right, let's hear some calls from the north and from the east. What you were saying up there in the east of London, saying, and the north of London and the west of London. Now, Met Police told stop whining. MacPherson says Yard is blaming its failure on his Lawrence report. Scotland Yard was blatantly told today by Sir William MacPherson to stop whining about the Stephen Lawrence inquiry report, which branded the Metropolitan Police as institutionally racist. The former High Court judge hit back at claims by the Met that its abandonment of stop and search procedures in the wake of the Lawrence report had led to a 30% increase in street crime, that recruitment into the force was down as a result of the report, and that 12 officers had been grilled by the inquiry were so traumatized that they could no longer function as human beings. Did you all get that? 12 officers that were questioned on the inquiry could no longer function as human beings. On the eve of next week's first anniversary of the report, Sir William said it was time for the police and right-wing critics of the report to stop whining and complaining about the findings. He went on to dismiss angrily any link between his comments on stop and search and the rise in crime. He also attacked former Commissioner Sir Paul Condon for referring to the grieving process the police were going through as a result of the Lawrence affair. I'll be back with you in a sec. Okay, let's finish this. Where was we, London? Sir William said the Lawrence grieve and they will never stop grieving because they have lost their son. A police force doesn't grieve. The police have been castigated. They have taken a blow. They have got to get over it. Of stop and search, he said, we pointed out the discriminatory nature of stop and search. It's up to the police to look at it and get it right. The report didn't cause the problem, it highlighted the problem. If the police are holding off because they are afraid of being called racist, that is not the fault of the report. The sooner they act properly and do their stop and searches properly, the better. It rankles with me that I am being made responsible for the police stopping doing their job properly. With 400 Met Police posts remaining empty, Sir Paul's successor, Sir John Stevens, has reportedly blamed the shortfalls on the hammering the police took when the report was published. However, Sir William said, I simply cannot see how there can be any connection between the two, although I do recognize there's a reluctance amongst ethnic minorities to join. Of Sir Paul's claim that a dozen officers interrogated by the inquiry could no longer function as human beings and that the entire incident had been a tragedy for the police service. Sir William, a former colonel in the territorial SAS said, unfortunately, some officers were given a pretty rough time. They deserved it. However, Glenn Smith, chairman of the Metropolitan Police Federation, hit back saying he should get in touch with me and I'll introduce him to some of the officers who have had nervous breakdowns. These men have been through a lot. Many positive things have come out of the MacPherson inquiry, but it was not a perfect report, and what he says is not always right. I wish he would accept that. He only sees things from one side. His intransigent diminish the good that can be done. There have been so many losers and so few winners out of all of this. The parents of Stephen Lawrence are to drop their legal action against 12 of the 41 officers they are suing for damages. Dionne and Neville, who are claiming $500,000 in damages, decided to drop the action against 12 junior officers. You see, the MacPherson report, and it is the anniversary of it, and we do hear all of the reports so far have said nothing has changed. They've had documentaries, they've covered it, they've talked to police, they talked to community leaders, they talked to politicians, they've talked to everyone, and at the end of the day, the morale amongst the police is low, the morale amongst the community is low, and nothing has changed. So was it in vain? Have we got another Lord Scarman report on our hands? You know, that glosses it over, talks certain things, but when push comes to shove, nothing is changed. Is that the case? Give us a bell, 079-401-86067. That's our new number in the studio. People's Talk Show. It's your time. In the light of what you heard earlier on, museums being opened in America, showing all of the lynchings, all that used to go on. There was a macabre fascination with taking pictures of those hanging from trees and bridges, etc. That's on that side of the river. On this side, we have our own problems. There's many things that we need to be dealing with, London. Again, as we said, the education. Parents, did your child get into the school of their choice? Or are you now having to go through the process of putting in an appeal and starting all over again, and, you know, pulling out your hair because the only schools that are left on the list are the schools that are every year they're getting below grade? Good morning, caller.
Good morning again, brother.
Good morning, Ron.
You ready to roll now? Right. You know the 4 white officers in America who shot the black guy, the black brother, 41 times.
Okay.
You know the 4...
Oh, you mean across the Atlantic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know they get off.
Did they get off?
Yep.
How could they get off? They shot that brother about 40 odd times.
41 times. They said it was self-defense.
It was self-defense?
Yeah. They're afraid. Why is it that these police, when anything, they always say that they're afraid for their safety? That's the word they use. They're afraid for their safety. Well, I think they're a bit trouble now in America because they had a big march. I was speaking to my mom last night, and they might have some trouble there. So
well, again, you see that phrase that you called afraid for their safety. I can remember way back when Cherry Gross was shot in Brixton.
In her back, yeah.
Yeah, in her back, in a nightgown.
Yeah.
And the policeman's excuse, but that was the policeman's excuse at the time. He said that he was afraid for his safety and his life was in danger.
Danger, right? That's the word they use over and over to get out of the movement.
Run.
Yeah.
This is Doctah X, yeah?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of any black policeman shooting any white policeman, shooting any white bystander in afraid for their safety?
Well, there's the thing I will move on to, because if 5 black policemen they shoot 1 white Caucasian, right?
41 times.
There was, something different.
Yeah, but the fact is, the question I'm trying to maybe kicking out to London. Have you ever heard of 5 black men, 5 black government-appointed officials, shooting any white man at any time, even 1 black man shooting any white man, being afraid of their safety?
No.
Never. So there's something going on then, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but...
There is something going on.
Yeah, but you must realize doing the same thing here. Look how many black brothers and sisters die in police custody.
Really, yeah, but so where's all these people? This is what we keep coming back to. Where's all these people in government and what? We've just mentioned something over the air, right? Are you saying that it takes a really great brain to work out that's what's going on? And we've got X amount of people all over the place, MPs and councillors and all that, and they haven't worked that out yet.
No, the black Toms in the government, they haven't worked it out yet. Like Trevor Phillips.
Yeah.
Diana Abbott.
Yeah. How many times has Genesis balled them out as some little sellouts?
Pardon?
How many times has Genesis balled them out as some little sellouts?
A lot of times. They're listening to this other Tom we named there to who says he's a black spokesman, who was the government Genesis to give it to the
Jasper.
Yeah.
Jasper.
What, pardon?
Jasper, Lee Jasper?
Yeah. Another Uncle Tom.
Well, I don't know.
What's your name? You see these Toms them, right?
Yeah.
These Toms them, when they go home, right? They're with the white wives.
Most definitely.
You see? So they have to speak, they're speaking black, but they're not black.
Yeah.
See, because when they get indoors, they meet the white wife, they change again.
Yeah. What I call them anyways, overseers. All that's happened is that the overseer, because we've moved into a mental age of slavery and a psychological age of slavery, all they've done is shoved the original overseers, the overseers that used to whip us for the white man, they've shoved them up into another level to oversee us still. So all those people in whether you can call them Toms, they're more like overseers. They're puppets. They're being controlled by white people to control black people.
Yeah, because all these things happening, and nobody, they can't say nothing, but when Brother Mike Tyson was here, they're quick to jump out the closet.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine that madness. You see how they come out of the woodwork?
They all come out of the woodwork.
Jesus. Yeah, that was a good point.
They all come out.
Look at that. You know what I'm saying? And when they're supposed to come out, you can't see them.
They never, because look, they're hanging in Telford. They're hanging in Telford.
Okay.
The two brothers them. Where are these black so-called?
Yeah, right. Make there be a riot in Brixton or Lewisham or Peckham, and you see if they don't come out.
All these Uncle Toms will come out.
Yeah, the overseers them. That's what they are. They're overseers. There's to me, there's overseers. Yeah. Now the overseer is in a controlling position. Yeah,
well,
the Uncle Tom.
Will in charge the overseers, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The overseers in a controlling position, like MPs, councillors, they're overseers. But Uncle Toms are people who are normal people like us, who are always bowing to the system and always scraping. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's a difference between, in my definition anyway, there's a difference between an Uncle Tom and an overseer. And people, if you notice, we don't use that word overseer anymore. But when you look at like even what Commissioner was saying this morning about the hangings and the lynchings, a lot of the people who hang those black men up, well, guess who? Black men. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the white people put them to hang, but they got other black men to hang them up. You get what I'm saying?
Well, they've been following orders, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So, right.
As you say, overseers,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That I believe there's two types. You know what I'm saying? And if we can go even deeper, we might end up with three types. Then we have the house nigger.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? It's just madness. You get what I'm saying?
House nigger is just like the Tom too, isn't it?
Eh?
The house nigger will define.
Yeah, they're interchangeable, really, aren't they? Them two there. The house nigger and the Tom is interchangeable. Huh?
All right, and let somebody.
Nice one, yeah.
Yeah.
0794018667. That's the number to get you through. Remember, it's your time, it's a people's talk show. It's time for you to say what you want to say. Good afternoon, caller, or is it still morning? Good morning, caller.
Good morning,
What are you saying, my brother?
Just ringing and responding to the information you was putting over here. How can I start? The brother just said, have you heard of black policemen killing white people? I have not. You understand what I'm saying? But when you check it out, it's just them policemen take off them white sheet as Ku Klux Klan and dress up in uniform. Yeah, you go to the West Indies, just take off the red coat and dress up in blue coat.
For real?
The Spain policy them still carrying on with. Yeah.
But you don't think that they're allowed to get away with it because of the same point that X and Ron was talking? We have Uncle Toms, we have sellouts, we have house niggers, we have what they called? Overseers. Okay?
I think it's a matter of institutionalized racism. from minimum to maximum, whether using different shades or different mindset or set mind to define the position of brutality.
Okay.
Because it's a brother you have retrained to carry out what someone used to do, and he's getting paid for doing it.
So
the
this
days before they didn't get paid for hitting you.
Okay.
Or hitting you and take jump, skip, and bow to this tune.
So the institutional racism that we're hearing so much about, how can this still manifest? And we have so many, like for example in America, you know that there's quite a significant number of black police.
Okay, you talk about institutional racism, how it manifests. You had a brother from Africa or Haiti who got shot so many times, or 4, 6 policemen got off with it. That's part of being promoted, moving up the social ladder. I haven't read or know about it, but if you check certain movies and look into them a bit deeper beyond what the promoter or producer's trying to fool the public with, you can see it's part of that. And then it's a cosmetic makeup to hide that entity, whether it's black, white, or sort of wolf in sheep clothing, Indian, yellow, or red. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Give someone else a chance. Yeah.
All right. And how we sounding in your area? Clear?
My area, a brethren, telephone in first and say, the green crossroad is sort of alright. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep up the good words. Jello.
All right. Keep it locked. Well, you all are hearing it there. One opinion, you know. And one thing my brother he's brought me round to is this institutional racism. You know, we touched on it last Sunday, but again, do we really realize? You know, the council, we all live within a borough that's run by a council, that's run by a management committee, or, you know, in another way you could describe them as the board of directors, and the council is the business. We've got problems. We have council workers coming into our property, okay? This is happening all over London. They come into your property to maybe fix a light or paint a ceiling or do something, and they've got attitude because you're black, you know. And they come in your house. They go through the house because they're there to do work. They can see everything that you have. They can have the most attitude of you, and if you complain, in many cases, you're labeled as a troublemaker. And if you say racism, you find that it's completely ignored. No one wants to deal with this thing called racism. You know, so I want to hear from you all out there. The council, different councils. Last week I was beating up Lewisham Council, and I'm not going to leave them. But it's happening in Lambeth, it's happening in Hackney, it's happening all over London. The workers, the contractors, and the officers that the council employ are not for you.
Yeah, so what do you think about this institutional racism, Commissioner? Because to me, it's just the same old.
Good morning, caller. You're breaking up, say that again.
That all 20 barriers where black people resident within London is the poorest within England.
Yes. All 20.
Or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, the poorest. Can you stress on that?
Okay.
And social, political issue are contained within that, or how it relate to us, like education, not being able to go to school and function in a positive way in our environment. I catch you up, gel up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you see, you all are hearing it there. The same thing as Doctah X is asking, the institutional racism, you know, and what do we think of it? Tell me, break it down.
No, I'm just saying. Right, at the end of the day, yeah, it's still, we've got to start to name and shame, as Labour was saying. Yeah, it's all right to say institutional racism. Then you got a whole heap of people can hide in there. We need to know who is who. You know what I'm saying? It's because at the end of the day, you know, we've got to understand. We've got to deal with our own history. It's no good we trying to wash over our own history. We have a thing called overseers. We have a thing called house nigger. We have all these things. So we need to point out the modern day version of them because we're still under it. Yeah, cooler.
Yeah, is that Commissioner?
No, this is Doctah X.
I know Doctah X. The trouble here, I'd like to talk about what Commissioner was talking about this morning.
Yeah, go through.
Hello?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, about forgiving and about lynching. I think the African people are the most forgiving people, because I like to illustrate that by relating to South African, the Truth and Reconciliation Committee.
Okay.
Remember the ANC so-called black government promised to substantially compensate the victims of apartheid.
That's right.
Who were traumatized. I've now learned that they're not compensating these people substantially, but the killers who murdered on behalf of apartheid, whether they were white or whether they were black, like the Willie Lynch and the Freedom Party of Chief Buthelezi, they go in front of the Truth and Reconciliation Committee, give some sub-story, cry, they get off, go back to their business and
they're making money. That's right.
So that the victims, they are suffering, they have no money, they are living in poverty. And Chief Buthelezi himself, who led a party, he called the Freedom Party, who collaborated with apartheid and the extreme neo-Nazi groups, is now a senior minister in the ANC government. And he's been acting president when Mandiba Mandela was out of the country. So you don't... He's been forgiven. All the killers been forgiven. So this, to me, I think Mandela took the forgiving exercise too far. Because this TRC thing, it was friendly to the perpetrator.
So hold on, don't you think though?
Friendly to the victim.
But Trevor, don't you feel okay? Because I remember there was another case of this. I think it was in Kenya, with when the Mau Mau's was fighting the war, and some of them it was said that some of them had committed certain atrocities. But when the president got into Kenya, he said total amnesty for everyone. Just come out of the bush, and we repair the damage that's been done at each side that's been warring, and we just go ahead. You know, so don't you think in principle it's supposed to work?
No, but if people are killed, you know, especially such a capital crime as killing, they should answer for those crimes. You know, they know they can go in front of this TRC. A lot of them were, secret police people who they were psychopathic. They love killing. But they know they can go in front of the TRC, give some sub-story, and the forgiving Mandela government, just they go back and they're living well. That's right. The people whose families were murdered, they're not getting any compensation that was promised by the ANC government. Don't you think it's carrying forgiving too far?
I would agree. I'm Doctah X saying I would agree. What I'm saying is that there obviously is, you know, if you notice when a lot of people try to stress on certain kind of speakers from the past, they always the person they mention mostly is Martin Luther King. Why is that? Because his particular stance was one where the white pressure could keep putting on pressure. The reason why they use Mandela a lot now is because, in a sense, he went in militant and came out quite soft. So even though, you know, that's why they never killed him, because they understand the greater psychology. If they murdered him, he would have been a martyr. All them people who were still fighting would probably still be fighting. But they had to, so what they did is give him what they think that brain thing they call it again, lobotomy. You know what I'm saying? Some form of whether it's a psychological lobotomy or whatever. And he came out this very soft, peaceful, loving type of person, which, you know, and his wife took it to another extreme. So this person that was working for the government, which is Mandela, who's being sanctioned by the government, and this other person who was not being sanctioned by the government, which is his wife, who's still on the original trail that they both started out on, she now got all the attention was turned to her as being a demon.
Very good, Doctah X, because look at Winnie Mandela. She's been ostracized, she's been kicked out of the ANC.
That's right.
So they use Mandela.
That's right.
In other words, they use Mandela to keep the lifestyle of the white people there quite wealthy. He has been used.
Well, you know, I don't know whether a commissioner agree with me or whatever, but that's what I think. I'm saying that the manipulation, the psychological manipulation of the European society is beyond the normal human being's comprehension, the normal average everyday human being. That's why Genesis has set up this kind of programming. That's why Commissioner, myself and few others are here, because we can see past certain little face kind of offerings that they've got to give us. You get what I'm saying?
The ANC government, they say they can't compensate these victims, they haven't got enough money, blah blah blah, but they spend, I've got a figure here, 30 million rands on arms.
Yeah.
to export arms to Congo, where Africans are killing Africans in a bloody stupid civil war.
But Britain, British Aerospace is selling Africa. Remember, British Aerospace is meant to be out of it, and they're selling arms to Africa, Somalia, everywhere. And at the same time, it's only their own white people that are exposing them. Me and you wouldn't know. If they tell us they're not selling them, me and you have to take their word for it. It's their own people that expose them. Otherwise, me and you would be none the wiser. And it's people like us who stay in touch with these other kind of news on CNN or whatever that then come back and tell our people, because they're totally oblivious to what's really going on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So we know. So what we're trying to do now is point to these people who are working with these lodges, because remember, there's a whole heap of Freemasonry going on within this, and a whole heap of lodges going on. So people, they, like how the people of ANC first, they have a meeting first to set up what they're gonna do, just like in an American court where they decide whether or not the person's gonna go to jail before they have the fallacy of the case. So and stuff like that. So they knew before the Truth Commission was set up, these people knew they weren't going to jail. As they'd have probably left the country and went all over the world with all their riches and their money. South Africa still needed that kind of money to keep South Africa strong. So they couldn't throw out all these people. They couldn't jail all these people, because some of these people know some deep things that if they let them loose, the whole society, the fabric would be in trouble.
So what you're saying, the TRC finally on this subject is a con, isn't it?
For us it is. We're being psychologically manipulated. It's another form of slavery, and in 100 years' time, our students of 100 years will look back at this time frame and say, look how we were being psychologically. Because remember, in another 30 years, more secrets are going to come out, just like the John F. Kennedy thing, and like the thing where they found out that they were bugging. It's come out now that they were bugging John Lennon. You get what I'm saying? All these things will come out.
I know you have a lot of people ringing out on the lynching in America, and all the people that they just burn at the stake and lynch. It's these people who can carry out such subhuman activity.
That's right.
They must kind of, like with black people, African people, they kind of depersonalize them, and they don't see them as a human being. But they see them like as ants. So you think about it, you see ants crawling about, you stamp on them, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what they did to the Jews.
If I can just finish, it's a kind, to me, it's a mental condition that these people are mentally ill. Because that type of thinking where you can look at another human being and depersonalize them and see them like a animal or an ant, and you can burn them because they're not human beings. It's not the victim who has done anything. It's the perpetrator of those crimes are mental. They're bloody mad.
So you don't. So Trevor, you don't.
I can't look at another human being and say, oh God. Even if I don't like that person, I'm not gonna say, oh, he's an ant, he's this. I'm gonna burn him.
Okay, but you're saying, in saying that, what you're saying then is that we shouldn't be mixing with these people, because in everything that we do, they're in it. In everywhere you turn, they're in it. So if you're saying, okay,
the killers of these, you need to mix with people who think that way.
Yeah, I'm saying if you from what we see and what we learn, okay, this is within these people's history, and as you just said, they don't. What kind of human being is going to be seeing these kind of things, selling postcards? One lynching, over 15,000 people turned out to watch it. Okay, now we are living with these people, mingling with them. You've got America saying now we're going to show a greater interest in Africa. Where do we stand in all of this?
But the way it should go, I think. Like America said they're showing an interest in Africa. That's just talk. They should put their money where their mouth is. When Europe was destroyed by World War II, they had the Marshall Plan, and they had a lot of grants going in to develop Europe, not loans, not money that I have to pay back, like Africa have to pay back billions of pounds in debt. They've destroyed Africa, so they should put a Marshall Plan for Africa, where Africa don't have to pay back any money, because they take all the wealth from Africa.
I hear that, but you see, I disagree with that on one point. Anyhow, we wait for these people to put in a plan for Africa. We've lost everything. Everything is lost.
Go ahead and,
we're supposed to go in. Well, number one, I believe, say us here, okay, this reparations argument, us here, we're the ones that are supposed to be taking up this argument and getting the reparations for Africa and getting the what they call the third world debt cancelled. Okay,
all of us. What I'm saying. All those debts should be forgiven because Europe got a lot of wealth from Africa.
For real, but we, in terms of the infrastructure and the planning of our own continent, my personal opinion, don't let them be involved in it in any way, shape or form.
No, I'm not saying like they should go there and be involved, but they should write off that debt, because to me it's not a debt. They stole a lot from Africa, so what's this debt?
That's right. We know
What's
that
the debt?
we know they're thieves. We know they've done a lot of looting, and as you know, and the rest of us know, the whole of Europe is built up off of the wealth of Africa.
So why should the African countries be indebted to Europe and America? It's a nonsense. It doesn't make sense to me.
I think you're correct as well. But also, right, if you notice that all these, again, I'm going back to the overseers, because I want to make people clear what's going on. The overseers that are in power, that the puppeteers have put them as puppets. Yeah, these are the people who would negotiate, rally round and get people together to march to make instead of just always marching on some other brother dying in police custody. We got bigger issues that they don't attend to, such as that one. Right now we've got white people marching for black people, saying, free the third world of a third world debt. I didn't see in the last march, I didn't see many black people in there. You understand what I'm saying? Where are happening to our overseers? They're getting lazy, you know what I'm saying? And I think they should be pointed out, because it wouldn't be you and I and the commissioner that would be doing this work. It would be them.
Oh yeah, they're gonna use middlemen, isn't it? They're gonna use, as you said, the house Negroes like middlemen to use the money for their own kind of, not to develop the infrastructure, but for their own self-enhancement, isn't it?
Yeah, for real.
And we see that in Africa already. You see leaders like Mobutu, who, a rich country like the Congo, he used all the wealth of that for his own family. Now,
if that was a white man, they'd have found a way to get that money back. But because he's black, they don't care. No one cares. What is he doing with so much money? He doesn't own a country. He's not in he's left the country with a lot of X amount of money. What's he doing with so much money? They've chased the Jews for their money. They've chased the Germans for their money in the Swiss bank accounts. How comes nobody ain't chasing this African man? Because all the African people or the overseers in power don't care. Because as soon as they do that, their white puppeteer master's gonna say, what are you bothering with that for? You got riots in LA. You got to deal with these little small issues. Don't bother take on anything that's too big and too political that would make you some kind of a person, real person. We got to cut it there.
I'll give someone else a chance.
Yeah, that's nice one. Yeah.
Too much about the politics in Nigeria, but one thing I would support the president in Nigeria for is that so much money went missing. When the last general was in, he had generals like they was going out of season, and they had silos full of money. Now the present president of Nigeria is actively hunting down these people and getting back the money.
Good.
And it's not no little bit of money, London, believe me. Some massive amounts of hard cash that makes you have to wonder, what on earth are these people doing with so much money? They could never spend it in their lifetime, their child's lifetime, or their grandchild's lifetime. So what are they doing? So we need our own. The same way other Jews have got their thing, and they said, all right, you know what? We're going to have our thing and get our researchers and research and find out my daddy had X amount of bars of gold. It was in here, and the Germans took it, and it ended up both, and now it's in the Swiss bank. And the other day, about a year ago, the Swiss bank gave back an astronomical amount of billions to the Jews. Okay? Because they said this was gold that was in Germany, but it was Jewish gold that the Germans had looted from them. So the Swiss, they made an order, and the Swiss banks had to cough up and give them the money. And this was something that was recognized throughout everybody who's anybody. How comes we got that situation? Is that because I was listening to one of them radio show, and I hear a black man say that we black people are just as racist. See? Can that be described as institutional racism? What these leaders of certain countries are doing?
I don't know what's wrong with these people. Black people are racist. What love? To me, that's a joke. How can black people be racist? Black people can, every human being can have a dislike, which can amount to what? A prejudice. That's clear. But racism is a total domination of another race. Black people cannot be in this situation and be racist. It's just impossible. It's like saying to having a good evil. You know what I'm saying? People make words up to suit themselves. They just make stuff up. They don't look at what they're saying. They make stuff up. You get what I'm saying? And to add weight to some kind of political ideology, mental ideologies, whatever, or their own agenda. You can't turn racism into prejudice. Racism is a totally different entity from being prejudicial to a human being. You know what I'm saying? I'm prejudiced in a lot of ways to a lot of things other than race, yeah? And I'm sure you are as well. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? But to call me a racist is a total re-manipulation and manipulation of the word. The word racist does not mean that. So when somebody says, "Oh, you're a racist," how can I be a racist? I got nothing. My people's got nothing. In this country, we got nothing. We own. You know what I asked myself the other day, yeah, Commissioner? I asked myself, where was we in the race for the newspaper shops? Because they've got, the Asians have got them all. Yeah, you cooler?
Yes, Doctah X.
Yeah, who's speaking?
Dr. Owen MD.
Okay.
Can you talk on the scenario what you see now went through about before they elected a government house, some Uncle Tom was bumping off certain leaders for replace the other leader.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Bear with me. And even like Commissioner was talking about reparation money. I don't understand it, but how about the people who's in Barbados, over 1 million been murdered through slavery, Jamaica probably 2 million, and other islands.
Yeah.
No one don't get compensated for that now.
Yeah.
You there with me?
Yeah, I'm clear. I'm clear.
It's my last telephone in.
Okay.
Yeah? I catch you in the night show. Shut up.
Right, we've got the new nation asking for this slavery day, yeah, and situations like that. Like I said, when you ask them, we've got enough people, we've got enough so-called leaders or MPs and whatever in positions, these overseeing type of niggers, yeah, or Negroes or whatever, who should be able to manifest and muster up this. They're only concentrating on who's dying in police custody. They're only concentrating on, you know, Tyson. As Commissioner said, Tyson. They're not concentrating on nothing that would change our people or life, you know, change everyone's, you know, the race of us. They're concentrating on what would happen in Stoke Newton police station. Or I'm not saying these issues are not important. What I am saying, they are not at the top of the agenda. That's what I am clearly saying. You get what I'm saying? Because there's other issues that will help us won't just help me, but will help every level of black person. You get what I'm saying? Because some people don't seem to realize that if we don't use these people who claim that they represent us, if we don't reuse them, they will use us. You get what I'm saying? And we'll end up with another situation like you're saying, with these silos full of money, where these white black MPs or whatever they are, you know, they're earning their own money, you know, getting all these little side money from turning up here and turning up there, and making their own money, buying their bigger house and living next door to their white friends. There's not a problem with that. But the problem is, there should be a simultaneous movement of everyone. While they're moving up as MPs, then the race should be moving clear. Should be clearing that poverty line. Why should they be just, you know, go clear off into the distance, all based upon their own agendas? I think that, you know, we should have a much clearer, and we should be more defined about our leadership roles. What do you think, Commissioner?
For real, and you know, I was going to say, to add to that, there's cause and effect, you know. There's cause and effect. So yeah, we may have people dying in police custody. We have our children being arrested and, you know, being kicked out of education, etc. Cause and effect. And as Doctah X said, you know, some of these things are low down on the agenda. But what has happened is that we've started focusing on these things that are low down on the agenda, not realizing that if we deal with everything that's above it, it will cancel out enough of these things. Enough of them won't happen. We have to move up. You know, if let's take, alright, we're going to name and shame this morning. Just one I'm going to go on. The Home Secretary, Paul Boateng, or the Home Office Minister, whatever his job title is, Paul Boateng. Paul Boateng was a man that started off in Brixton. See? He used to walk Brixton every morning, same as anyone else. Ordinary little black man, going about his thing, doing his thing. He's reached the position that he's reached off of the back of the same Brixton riots and the Peckham riots and the Tottenham riots and the Toxteth riots, all of these riots. He's reached where he's reached now. Now, if you will ever get the opportunity, afternoon, any weekday afternoon, BBC 2, around 2:30, maybe 3 o'clock, they have Prime Minister's question time and they show Parliament. Take the opportunity and watch it, even if it's just for this week, and you'll see Paul Boateng at the front, sitting in the front, the front bench. And I guarantee you, you'll see this brother sitting there and he's asleep. He does like what all of the other former peers and members of parliament do. They go in there, sit down in the soft leather seats after a big meal and a bottle of wine, and they sleep. Now this man's supposed to be representing us. Hear how he's representing us. The other day it was said there was how many people dying in jails. Brixton had how much hangings, Wandsworth, Wormwood Scrubs. People was dying, committing suicide because of the situation. The government said, all right. They sent out Paul Boateng. He visited all the prisons, said, yeps, we're going to make sweeping changes and sweeping recommendations, and this isn't good, and blah, blah, blah. Do you know what Paul Boateng done? He went back and he proposed to the government that they should charge prisoners for their stay in prison. Yeah. Prisoners now they're putting it through now. They're putting a bill through now where they want to charge you when you're in jail for staying there, because it costs up to £500 right now. It costs the government £500 a week just to keep let's say a reasonable prisoner, not a troublemaker, just a reasonable one. £500 a week. Mr. Boateng has recommended that if you go to jail, you are going to pay. If you've got a big job, you pay. If you're signing on the dole, it will come out your dole money. See? But you're going to pay some contribution for your stay in jail. Now, these are the kind of people that is supposed to be representing us. And we get back to cause and effect. One of the only reasons why we have so many disproportionately in terms of how many of us is here in society in prison is because of other causes. Not because every black man is a villain or a criminal or going to lick down people. There's other causes that's pushing us into corners, and situations are created, and the reason why they are created is so that the jails can be full up, social services can keep working, the council can keep running. So in fact, you being in jail, in and out of jail, is putting bread on how much different people's table, and now you're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, the phone number is 07940 186 067. If you have anything to offer, 07940 186 067. Yeah, caller?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's your name?
Samantha.
Samantha, hi.
Hi, good morning. I wanted to talk about the thing, I read it in the Standard this week, about some looted Nazi art that found its way to Britain.
Okay.
They basically, the British authorities have basically said to the British Council of Jews that they're going to give them some money. They can't return the art to them, but they're going to give them some money. And the Jewish community has said, we're not going to take part in any kind of discussion until we can receive the art back, or we can have the money in terms of in terms of its equal market value.
What?
So they want either one or the other. And I just thought to myself, look, these people are, talking and arguing about money, and it makes us black people here like we're non-citizens. But anyway, that's just one thing. The other thing was, I completely agree with what Commissioner was saying about General Abacha, now deceased, who stole so much from Nigeria. I had a Nigerian friend a couple of weeks ago telling me about it, and I've been reading Ovation as well, which is quite, it's like a Hello magazine, but
okay.
It's supposed to be non-political.
What's it called? Sorry? What's it called?
Ovation.
Ovation. Oh, it's a magazine, yeah? A magazine, yeah?
Yeah, it's a bit like an African answer to Hello,
okay.
but it's completely in a different class. It's really nice.
All right.
And the editor is an Abiola supporter, so everything is kind of in favor of him. But they also did some interviews with Abacha's family in Kano, in the northern part of Nigeria, and if you see how these people are living, it's like, the kind of money that man must have taken from that country.
Aren't they spending millions, sis?
Sorry?
They're spending millions out there.
Oh, well, apparently so, but his family are well set up. His two daughters have just been married off to these very rich men. And apparently Abacha wasn't even Nigerian as well.
Okay.
Somewhere else, in Africa.
And the report is, you see on his daughters, their marriage, it is reported that the mum spent something like $40 million US.
Yeah. Well, whether
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just ridiculous. What's
It
going on?
is. But the disgusting thing about it is this is a black man teaching from a black country, and black people are suffering now in Nigeria as a result.
That's right.
You know, and while these people are living it up, and they're not even Nigerians. I mean, his wife, to be honest with you, she doesn't even look like a black woman. She looks like some kind of North African, Moroccan,
And
Algerian type of,
you're
know?
hitting it on the head, because when you speak to a lot of Nigerians, okay, they will say to you that what has happened, and up until now, up until is Abiola, he's the president now, but up until Abiola, everyone that ever ruled in Nigeria came from and they came from the north region.
Yeah, and apparently they got into government because the more cleverer people in the south were going abroad and schooling themselves, and then coming back and taking up other positions in the civil service. But the military, you didn't have to be that bright, and it just so happens that they managed to get into government that way. So she wasn't a right enough. She was a hell of a thief and managed to leave the country in complete ruins, you know.
So tell me now, because again with Abiola, what's been said is Abiola, even though it comes from and this is how they got it in Nigeria, you have the Muslim north and the Christian south.
Yeah.
And Abiola is a man now that comes from the Christian south.
Yeah.
But he has completely, because this is touching on forgiveness, okay? He completely now sorry, sister, you've been cut off. We just had a little slight accident here in the studio. See, so we're gonna hook things back up for you all and continue. Okay, give us 5 seconds and we'll be back. Good afternoon, caller. You're in tune to Genesis.
Hi, just me again. Quickly, just to finish off what I was saying.
Sorry about that, sis.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think Abiola should be respected a lot, and it's really bad that the man poisoned him off, you know, just before he was about to come out of jail, and Nigeria was about to experience some kind of democracy. So, you know, it's just what we do to one another. So
then, give us some solution. How are we going to deal with this situation? Because obviously it affects us.
Well, yeah, I mean, the only thing that we can do, I mean, when I say we, I mean an ordinary person like me who's not in government, the only thing I can do is kind of use my vote if I think it's going to do any good.
Okay.
Or I can protest, you know?
Yes, and make your voice be heard.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing is, just lastly, on the lynching thing, the lynching exhibition in New York, you know, I think a fair amount of us have seen these pictures already in one publication or another. But I mean, I just find it so funny that they're showing these pictures in this this place in New York, when you know it's the same place where they just shot down that immigrant the other day.
They just shot the man 40 something
but I don't
times.
really see much difference between that. But what's her name? Frances Cress Baldwin. She talks about justifiable homicide. So it doesn't, I mean, I've read that a couple of years ago, so it doesn't surprise me that, you know, whether, you know, the lynching in the past, Angela Davis talks about it as well in her book on feminism, women, culture and politics, sorry. And, you know, she talks about the lynching in the past and things that used to happen to women, which are, you know, even more bizarre and barbaric.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So then what, it seems like, what you're saying there is kind of very macabre again, because as you're saying, they're shooting people and yet they're showing lynching exhibition.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they shot him down like a dog, let's face it.
That's right.
They didn't
right.
shoot him like he was a human being.
No.
And I mean, to be honest with you, the police in this country are just following the example of Americans because, you know, our so-called leader, Mr. Blair, he fawns over that man in America like nobody's business. And I think he's the most despicable man in the whole world, the Clinton guy.
Clinton.
Because I just think he's just awful. And we have a leader who is following him.
That's right.
All that he does and his government are doing is
yeah,
good.
it's getting the same. Because last week Tony Blair again said to the police, listen, you all don't hold back on stop and search. We're going to give you more powers and we want more of it.
Well, this is it, yeah. And also, when they had that New Deal thing come up a couple of years ago, that was the brainchild of an economic professor from LSE, London School of Economics. And that man did his research in America and said, look, they've got a rule over there. If you're on welfare for a certain amount of time, and you haven't found a job, you're going to be cut off. You're not going to receive any more government support. And this is the same thing they've done in this country, but with the New Deal.
That's right.
So-called providing incentives for people to get out of their bed in the morning and travel from, I don't know, Peckham to Walthamstow, or I don't know, somewhere even further, just to go and do community work, just to say that they're doing something with their life. You know,
for real. And here now, they've almost gone the distance with it, because what the New Deal here actually says, if you don't do certain work, then and it's after a longer period of time when you're still signing on, we will give you a job to do. And what they're doing, you've got people sweeping the streets and sweeping up leaves, you know, and doing all these kind of things.
And shall I tell you something? I think it's good for people to be active, even if you're earning rubbish money or you're working voluntarily, because it all has its own rewards one way or another.
For real?
Yeah, but I would say, because I'm a college lecturer, most of the students that come in, like especially the ones over 16, under 20, they come there and they don't want to study. They're there because the government says they have to go there as part of this New Deal thing.
So what do they want to do? They want to go out and work?
Well, they come there and, well, I don't know if they want to work or if they're just basically lazy or what, but they come there, if they're not talking to girls or talking to men, they're not studying at all. They're not taking it seriously because they get £5 extra a week to study, bring themselves there. You know? So, you know.
Okay, well, again, one thing I was going to say about that, for some of us, we went to school and we didn't learn nothing at school. And it's not until we went to college that we you know, picked up. And then there's those that was at school and learned everything at school and went to college and just turned the complete opposite way.
Yeah, I've heard that story so many times. I have adult returners who I teach on a Wednesday and a Friday. And I have about 8 consistent students who turn up, and they have said the same thing to me. When they were at school, they don't know what was going on, distractions, whatever, not being focused, not being pushed by their parents,
That's right.
Lack of support. And they turn up at the FE college and they really do want to work.
And they excel greatly.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing about FE college, is that it's, you know, it's not compulsory, it's voluntary. But when you have things like the New Deal, which forces people to actually attend, then it becomes, education becomes a little bit more blurred.
But people that they're under duress, and no one likes to be forced, especially in education. If there's one thing I know, you can't force no one to learn.
Absolutely. It's a bit like brain surgery, to be honest. Sometimes.
Sorry, can I just say, you were saying...
Hi, Doctah X.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm not too bad.
Right, you were saying about what you think we should do? I am saying that, you know, like how I'm just using this as an example. You know, like how we've used music, black music, as subculturally affected every other music almost on the planet,
Sure.
Right. So, but when we was doing it from a subcultural basis, a culture within a culture,
Yeah.
I am saying that what we need to develop now, in terms of political ideologies, is a subculture political agenda.
Within their own political agenda.
Sorry?
Within their own political agenda.
Yes, you get what I'm saying? So that way, because we got some, you know, like Akula was saying earlier, we have some serious people, you know, we see some serious stuff going on.
Well, sure, and there are many people who are vocal about it as well.
That's right. But
just like me, they tend to stay in their house and rant and rave amongst their own friends.
This is the subculture. Remember, these are things, they happen by themselves. right? So you are already, what's your name again? Samantha, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah? You're already developing this subculture of political stance, aren't
Well,
you?
shall I tell you something? I was just to cut you very quickly, I was saying to my son this morning, it's really good that we listen to Genesis, and it sounds corny, doesn't it? But it is good, because the kind of household that I grew up in when I was younger had people like Gene Winterbreed and Ida Levi, who I was pleased to hear his record played this morning by another DJ. And I grew up in that kind of Rastafarian kind of kind of socio-political household. And now my son is experiencing the same thing, but he's always experienced that because when I had him, I went straight to university and took him with me.
Okay.
So he's always experienced that type of thing. And now all my friends are the same kind of, with the same interests. So we talk about it, and Genesis is always on there in the background. So it's it's
So
good. It's conditioning, you know.
So can you see where we're trying to get to? Can you see where Genesis is trying to get to?
Sure,
We don't want to. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say, but I'm a Christian as well, so probably that kind of mars the whole thing for you.
You see, there's too much. This is what we're trying to get rid of. I'm not saying I can't stop somebody.
You kind of you look out against it quite often.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Only because I find, not just from you, because I don't know you as an individual, Samantha, so I wouldn't know if you know what I'm saying, how you live. But only because I realise, in terms of our political agenda, that when it gets brought up and it stops us from moving forward. Everybody's going to the left, because I'm not just talking about Christians, I'm talking about Muslims,
Rastas.
Well,
I tell you something, Doctah X? The one thing I would applaud you for is the fact that you're a free thinker. I know there's that horrible lefty newspaper called The Guardian, which I don't buy anymore. They say, oh, free thinkers welcome and all this type of thing. I think the only thing good about that concept, which I think you exemplify as well, is the fact that you are a free thinker. You're not constrained by anything, and you have taken the time to think of something new that we can develop. And you're also looking at the ills of black society as well, under the massive umbrella, white supremacy that we live under.
Okay, I respect
trying to see if we can do anything about it.
Okay.
So I like that. I like your emphasis.
But this is what I'm saying. It's not. You see, I'm only against the people who are using it. Yeah, and it gets in the way. I'm not against. You can do whatever you like and be whatever you like. I'm a free thinker. That's me. You're a Christian. That's you. But we both have the same problem. So if you're going to use, if I could just cut you. If I use free thinking and use Christianity, and this other comes along and use Rasta, it's going to be a whole heap of mix up in our agenda.
But shall I tell you something? One thing I would have in common with you and with the Rasta is the fact that I have something which is guiding my life, and that is my belief.
Okay.
I think that everybody has to have a belief.
Right.
And whether that's belief in an orange, or whether you're a Druid and you believe in the trees, or
Right.
God, or Allah, or whoever.
Right. I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. Genesis, as far as I understand it, we are trying to we're trying to find a methodology. So we've known
is that your ghettoology then?
Sorry?
Is that your ghettoology?
Well, that is mine, but it's not just me. I'm doing that, but Commissioners does a show, other people do a show. But what I'm saying, what we're trying to find out is a method that is enabling us to all sit at the same table and look at this particular what's going on right now. If you come there talking about there's going to be war. It's always been wars against different gods. It's always been.
Well,
we don't want that war. Our war is with our oppressor.
But it takes a strong person, sorry Doctor, it takes a strong person to come to a meeting and leave their politics at the door and leave their religion at the door, because it's part of them, of their being.
Right, that's
part of their whole
but what did you say? But
their identity.
That's true, but what did you just say? It takes a strong person. And the race is for the fittest, isn't it? We want strong people, because if we get people who can't tell the difference between the reason why we're under this social conditioning, right, is because when the need comes, right, white people or people who mass together, they put across their Anglican beliefs, their Catholic beliefs, their homosexual beliefs, and they come together in order to create. And once that situation's been achieved, that's why homosexuality is so rampant now. That's why the church is so divergent now, because they now have full control. I am trying to show people the reverse psychology of that, in that when we put aside our religious differences and try to deal with the facts that we have at hand, or the problems that we have at hand, we will be a much more efficient force. And maybe in the year 2300 we can start getting back, or our generations can start to divert in that way. Now they have the power. Well, right now we have no power.
I should tell you something. You're speaking very scientifically. Well, I think I don't know if it's possible, but science says that anything is possible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What we could have is a group of babies being bred. And aside from the biological factors, you'd have to isolate those children.
To cut you there straight away, I know what you're saying, but that's too. We haven't got the power. We have to start from with what we got, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
That's what we try to do with our children as well. But unfortunately, or fortunately, our own beliefs are put upon our children as well. So, like my son is not forced to come to church with me, but he comes to church with me, he believes in Jesus Christ as his saviour. You know?
Right, well that's fine. What I'm saying, I ain't got a problem with that. I've got a problem with it getting in the way. At the same time, you're saying you understand all these psychological, the poverty levels. You understand all that. Now, at the moment, I don't see having that at the forefront of your life is saving the rest of our race.
Well,
now, it's either individualistic or it's community based.
I don't know if it's being at the forefront of your life. I think it is your life. Your belief leads you to make choices, good or bad, and lead you in certain directions. You know, you use it as a guide, basically. I don't know whether you can do it individually or in organisations. I'm rambling a bit now.
Yeah, you are. But I know what you're saying. You see, again, we're back to what we're trying to say. What we're trying to say is that Genesis, as far as I understand it, as far as our direction is concerned, is about trying to listen to all the things that you got to say. And what's getting in the way in terms of that sub-political culture that we're talking about is the fact that you're saying that I'm licking out against your belief. And I'm saying to you that...
Well, I'm not saying it like you're personally offending me. I'm not offended by you because, to be honest with you, I still listen to you even though I do go to church and I do believe. So I don't think I don't think there's anything that you said that has personally offended me. I just think you're a presenter. This is your belief, and you probably won't like me for saying this, but sometimes I think it's a bit of PR for Genesis as well. You know, but it's all good anyway.
But to me, you know, obviously PR or not, right? We have a purpose. We serve a purpose. We're not just a DJ radio station. Our purpose is to try and you know, a lot of us. Commissioner knows me. You know, we know each other. You know, the leader of the one who said we've faced problems and overcome them in life. So what we're trying to do is trying to give that same motivation to other people through this medium.
I'll say this to you. I don't think that my religion is going to get in the way of me being able to offer any advice or present any kind of solutions or strategies for trying to alleviate any kind of the society's ill, poverty,
that's all good.
Homelessness and all this type of thing.
Right, so that means that
I'm more or less able to look at things relatively objectively.
Well, that's cool. That's what we're dealing with. So that means that if we did a call to the table, you would come along just to even feel out what it was all about. If you are that passionate about your belief in your race, because it would always be a subculture from this moment in time. But if you do believe in the future, if you do believe in things, you know, snowball on, then you would have to start from somewhere, like reggae music did, like soul music did, like hip hop did.
But there was always that seed there of something else, wasn't it?
Well, this is we have, at least if you have the intention to say that it doesn't going to get in your way, at least we have that as a starting point, don't we?
Yeah. We do.
Okay then, yeah.
All right.
Nice one, Samantha.
Anyway.
All right then.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, London. Remember, we've got a new number for you today: 07940 186 You heard what Sister Samantha had to say, seen as a Christian out there in the community. Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, could be silly safe.
I'm safe, my brother. What you saying?
Not too bad.
Okay, what would you like to say to London?
Yeah, just some information about the moonshot. Yeah, there's a little meeting. There's a meeting taking place Tuesday. And there's a meeting taking place on the 7th of March.
Where is the meeting on Tuesday?
St. Swithin's Church off Hither Green Lane.
St. Swithin's Church, Hither Green Lane.
Yeah.
Okay. What time is it?
It's got here 7:30 p.m.
7:30 p.m. This is a meeting about what's going to happen with the Moonshot building.
Yeah, and the next one is on the 7th of March.
On the 7th of March is the next one. But this one, London, anyone that's interested in finding out what the council are going to do about the Moonshot building, they've got a meeting on Tuesday at St. Swithin's Church in Hither Green Lane, and it starts at 7.
Yeah, 7 till 9.
7 till 9.
Or probably 8, depending on who turns up.
Okay.
Yeah, and the next one's on the March the 7th. They're going to look at the building, inspect it, and find out if it's safe or etc.
Okay.
Because I ain't gonna let the cat in the bag yet, but there was a rumour going around the back. They want to like knock it down.
They want to knock it down.
I don't know who that is, but all I'm just saying to like anyone out there, you know, we really got to put together because, you know.
Some greedy developers seen the land and wants to build on it, eh?
Yeah, that's gone through already actually.
Okay.
Because I've made some research on it and they've actually gone through that. So.
Well, you see again, what you're touching on there is the same thing what we was reasoning about earlier on, and the local authority, the councils all over London, and their representation of us and the treatment of us. You know, now this is just another case of the same thing happening again, where we have our buildings that's been established in our community for well over a decade, 2-3 decades, and you know they can come in when they want and just decide, oh yeah, we're going to close it, we're going to take it, we're going to do what we want with it.
But there's a pause there though.
What is it?
Yeah, the pause at the moment is that the building, you know, what they're trying to say is that, okay, they're trying to say that they're jealous because they never, when Lewisham was first thought of, you know, Mr. Phoenix said quite a few others approached them, and they didn't want to know anything about it according to my knowledge. That got in there, and it's done there, and it's under their land or whatever. They're trying to reclaim something which is even theirs.
Okay, so it's just down to us to come together and defend ours.
That's right.
Okay,
like
my brother.
Like if you've got a big house.
Yes.
Yeah, and like if you're working on your land and you buy it, it's like they're trying to repossess it, innit?
That's right. That's right. So, and at the end of the day, you know that it's there for the future of your children. You know what I mean? So, and it's again, I've got to just keep repeating it. This is happening all over London and beyond in our communities. We're just being stripped slowly, gradually of everything.
That's right.
Well, my brother, big up for the calls, eh?
For real.
You take care, keep it locked. So that's Tuesday, 7 o'clock at St. Swithin's Church in Hither Green Lane.
Yeah, and I'll give you the number after the show.
Okay.
Alright then.
Nice one. You all are hearing it there loud and clear again. Community organisation is needed by all of us. Support is needed. Are we going to let them just take our things away? AX? Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who am I talking to? Say that again, my brother. You're slightly breaking up.
Yes, I'm mobile with that one, you know?
Okay.
Why, you can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, my brother. What you got to say to London?
Well, I'm listening to the show from the other day, you know? And the show is like a duplicate of a show going in Jamaica.
Really?
Yeah, man.
What show is that?
Motor Baroga Cutting Edge.
Cutting Edge?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you see the message is aired there and everywhere, innit, brethren?
But the thing about it is, when we hear the show, boy, I'm not so general, you know? Because I'm there in England for about 3 years, you know, and you're so not really...
Yeah.
When I hear no other radio station, black radio station, really, I try to get across the message.
For real. And it's needed, innit?
Of course it's needed.
Of course, brethren. It's high time we have it here. So tell us something about the show in yard, Muto, the Cutting Edge. How is the people's response to him?
Well, enough fun listening, but I'm still not really get the message.
Okay.
So not dealing. Them not think deep enough like where man I say. So not say.
Yeah.
A man just hear certain thing and him go up on the road and him lick out a couple fire up on a man and him start not up in the air and you see everything frivolous. You see that?
Yeah. And they can do what they want and don't have to answer.
And a man just say, boy, still I'm going to deal with him in peace and him say, boy, I'm going to deal with some righteousness and...
Yeah, but he's chatting rubbish, isn't he? But he's chatting rubbish, isn't he? Most often they're chatting rubbish. All they're looking right is a way out, aren't they? Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, all they're looking is a way. I listen. When I was in Jamaica, I listened Muta regular. You get what I'm saying? I even played Muta on. I've even played one of the shows on my show, the Rego Chat Show. Yeah. And I know that Muta is on a certain fire and he's dealing with Rasta and rare. This is what I'm saying. So even Rasta, I've always said Rasta is what has kept Jamaica up full and clean, yeah. You know what I'm saying? As whether I believe in Selassie or not, the belief pattern that they're using is what stopped, slackness from overrunning the whole place.
Yeah, it's like what you are saying. It's like a culture within a culture.
Culture, yeah. And it's saving Jamaica right now. It's saving that overrun right now, because if it wasn't for Caperton and Buju and them man there and Anthony B and them man there, right now we'd be steeped in some nastiness. You get what I'm saying? And it takes a man like Caperton, who was on the road, who was dealing with a certain level of slackness or whatever, who says right now, no, this don't seem to be doing good for my people. You get what I'm saying? And Buju, yeah, definitely Buju. You know, because him sing Fire for the Batman, them and Ray, yeah? And then go on and deal with a Rasta thing. So what I'm saying is that, you see, even with that, but you know, whether you're Christian or Rasta or whatever, with that agenda, you can clean up the place. But the only thing is that you can't start licking it out against other people, and you know what I'm saying? And if they're willing to come to the table and put that to one side, because that's the only way you can fight a war.
Alright, Father. Now I get a joke, see?
Yeah.
I left school in 1990.
Yeah.
And it's like my little crew and enough youth I know, you see what I did it?
Yeah.
To football and things, you see what I say? When the man left school, I left them enough of them to know.
Yeah.
You see what I did it?
Yeah.
Go down on the oval, prison over, taking out some Sunday league ball and, you know?
Yeah.
The man I rasta.
What no?
Ball of them, man. All of them ball out of them, man.
Why? Because them couldn't take the pressure or what you needed to hold.
Them can't take the pressure.
Yeah.
Because them shut up the mid and them start move on cars some man when know a certain thing, and when a man start lick out certain thing. Them even have them belief there.
Yeah. See, but you see what's happened now, that Rasta's become so international that you have man where have Muggle and them are Rasta. They, you know, well, they got locks anyway, and there's a mix-up going on now between who and who is what. You have the who are Jed, who are Rasta, who are Bongo, who are Baba, who are Bingy. You get what I'm saying?
Jed Island thing there.
Eh?
Some Kentucky Jed.
What kind of Jed that? Fine.
Some Jed yes, and we got them chest and them come from KFC with all a bucket of chicken, man.
Sorry to laugh, but yeah, man, understand. Some Kentucky and some pork Jed.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I know what you say. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, cue all that now. The whole ideology of the peace and the love and even the diet. You know, Rasta has a clean-cut diet about vegetarianism, about the non-mixture of certain foods, yeah? And all these things are just normal knowledge, even though it's Rasta picking it up. But you'll find that anybody that's scientifically, in terms of food, knows about food. Some of the stuff that Rasta's kicking out is just scientific knowledge. And you know what I'm saying? So, the point I'm saying, all of these things can be brought to the table for everybody to learn from. But you can't, if you keep bringing it under the guise that is Rasta or is Christian and is this, then, you know, everybody's going to be, well, my God good and my God great. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm trying to, not lick out against as another caller. I'm trying to make other people see.
What do you mean now, lick out? If you lick out on some people, man.
Yeah, well, in a sense, the reason why I'm doing it is to make other people who have more, you know, who might be mixed up in their mind or might be not sure of what's going on, see clearly what's really going on. Because, you know, it's time.
Nah, cut the father. But enough time, see, I like to deal with some serious issues. You know, some serious thing with black people should I really know. And then just hear all a man call up a show and a time, pay fucker and all that thing.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's like him get paid for call up a show now.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
You talk about one thing and him come and tell about for real all Psalms, this and
Yeah.
Some foolishness.
Yeah, that happens. But that's a part of the public, you get me? And we as presenters have to deal with that. And you know what I'm saying? But what we're saying is that the momentum that we're using, and where I try to deal with is try to get to a point where if me talk this way or you talk that way there, and somebody who talks really quite clear and quite concise doesn't feel that you don't have nothing to offer. That's what the classism and them thing that we're trying to get out the religion and the classism so that we can, you know, poor people know stuff that middle class people don't know. Middle class people know stuff that poor people don't know. And somebody has to be able to transfer these two, because it's just knowledge. You know, some people think they're better than other people, and all these things is what Genesis was about. You see me, I say?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? All right then, cooler. Thanks for you. Yeah, sorry.
That's the father.
Yeah?
Boy, enough things not for saying, man.
You like to what?
I say enough things not for saying, enough things not for contribute to the show.
Saying?
Because you talk I think about the Bible, and you say, boy, the Bible, you know what I mean? The Bible wrong.
Yeah. No, I've just been given a call saying that you said a word earlier on, no swearing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Bible wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't say that. I've never said the Bible's wrong.
Yeah, but not put an X eyes for your reasoning, no.
Okay.
I mean, I said the Bible wrong.
Okay.
The Bible for totally outlawed out a black man. Black man thinking black man way of life.
Okay, I can't deal with that in this show. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying, because we've got Commissioner who believes in some other things. So, you know what I'm saying. So this is not the right show for that. You'd have to phone either the Rego Chat Show or Commissioner's other show, Rego Chat Show, from 10 to 12 on Saturdays. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I think you know that anyway. So that if you really want to say that bit, you know what I'm saying, phone me next week. You get me on that show and we deal with that.
You see the show, I know why you water down the show. You should just blaze the fire, you know?
You see. Alright.
Just keep the show hot.
Yeah, respect. Because I watered it down this week a little bit, but they never come out. I thought I was trying to invite some people to come out, but they didn't come out. So I'm going to blaze it back up. You get me?
Man.
Alright then, peace then, yeah?
You're not the doctor.
Okay.
We have a number we can link up on some boy. Reach up on heights and enough reason for next thing.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that you see my reason is a public reasoning still. And when Genesis gets together to do a public reasoning, everybody will be welcome, you get me? Because if I do on a one-to-one, there's so many people that want
to... You see, you contradict yourself, you tell me some boy, you show you can't deal with certain things.
What, this show here?
Yeah, I'm sure there's enough things never said.
Yeah, but the topic is racism at the moment, so you get what I'm saying. So if we start to... Alright then, a man said, alright then, go on, sorry. No, what I'm saying, you said you want to speak to me, in a one-to-one, and I'm saying to you that there's so many people that want to speak to me on a one-to-one. I can't manage the time, blood.
No, but the only reason I'm still that still, because there's some boy that show you like, you can't deal with certain things for that show you.
Oh, on this show, this is what I'm saying, but on my Saturday, on the Rego Chat Show, you can deal with it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you phone me next week, Saturday, between 10 and 12, you can certainly blaze your fire and put across your point. Because, like I'm saying, me and Commissioner, we're two different sides of the coin in that sense, and we don't really want to get into that now. That would be, that has to be a show in itself. You get what I'm saying? This is what I'm trying to show people how we can do it. Me and Commissioner can know where we're coming from, but the point is what we're dealing with is, we're working together for the upliftment, the mental and psychological upliftment of people. So when we want a time to put on our boxing gloves and go at each other, we do that in another arena. But that won't make, like two boxers, it don't make them enemy at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? Some win some boat, some lose some boat. That's how it go. He keeps his belief and I keep mine. You get what I'm saying? So
where you have to show you know is some racist topic.
Yeah, this is a people's talk show. You can say what you're saying still, but I don't. To go into that, it's such a deep subject that it's very hard to go into right now.
All right. So what the subject on this morning? Where are these? Right.
Yeah, racism and like how it affects us as black people, and who are the people that's instituting racism and stuff like that. And what we're saying here is that black people can't be racist. You know what I'm saying? But every human being can have a prejudice or can be prejudicial. So, there's no doubt that black people have prejudice, but so does every other race on the planet. But we cannot be racist because we're not governed. We don't govern no other race.
Yeah, we're not control none.
No, that's right. So that's what I'm saying. That's right. So that's when people use that word and say, oh, black people are racist. I want them to show me how. Because you can't just call a black man racist. It's like calling a black man a white man because you just feel like calling him that. You can't just do it because you feel like. You have to have some kind of methodology of proving what the word means.
All right, now make one contribution now.
Okay.
England, it started the slavery thing,
Yeah, definitely.
See, John Hawkins, Francis, them on there.
Yeah.
Dangerous pirate and thief them on there.
Yeah.
So England, it started, and you have to look up how the world is set up. English are what I call it, the main language.
Yeah, that's right.
If you speak Chinese, French, you have to learn English.
That's right.
On a global level,
Yeah. Because in this, I mean, English people is actually who controls America. Yeah, English people actually who controls Australia and South Africa and Canada, everywhere you go.
Yeah, I hear you call out the boy Tony Blair follow England. I think England has set the pace for them because all of them them way of politics and Western politics and cabinet and all them development, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
After them system, you know?
Okay.
I within Europe and them things because Europeans got America, you know?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was just saying. America is a Europe. All that happened is that once that the Americans got free of the British hold, they made a war against them. They decided that they wanted a different constitution or different rules from what they had in England. So they warred against them and they became America, which was separate from England. But it was English people who was warring against English people. Until the Germans came in and the Dutch came in and the later down the Irish and then later down even further the Italians. They're all Europeans. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, man. So keep the fire blazing.
Yes, nice one. What's your name again? Gia.
Yeah, man. Spanish Town, man. You know.
Saying so. Hear what now? Rago Chat Show 10 to 12 next week. We'll hear you then, will we?
Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right.
Yeah. Respect.
Yes, father.
Peace.
And one thing, London, just to back up, you see the Rasta argument scene. Listen to this. There was a report, there's an article in one of the local paper that cocaine, the smuggling of cocaine has increased in Jamaica tenfold. We're going to take this call. Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's Peter from Peckham.
How are you, brother Pete?
Yeah, respect, nice.
What you got to say to London?
Yeah, I want to pick up something what was said about education last week. Well, two things. A question for Doctah X, that's for later on.
Okay.
But in the meantime, somebody said, talking about the youth and their behaviour, teenagers in particular, and about how when they have their little mobile phone and thing, they chat rubbish. I would have to disagree with that because the youth of today express themselves according to their age.
Okay.
Now, what I'm really angry about is the behaviour of big people.
Okay.
Worse than the youth them. Not laying a foundation for them. And carrying on shabby.
Yep.
That's what we want to get to the root of.
Okay. So when we're talking about big people, we're talking about, again, yesterday we were speaking about men on that stand outside the bookies.
You're a mind reader. Oh man, that's exactly what I was just about to bring up.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was about to bring up.
And they're not children; they're big men.
My gosh.
Yeah.
So when the youth see that, so what do you expect? They're not going to respect us.
For real.
Or older people.
But again, you see, we had a guest in here yesterday, P, from the Authur Set Society, okay?
Yeah.
And the brother said to us, because we, as I said, we brought up this point about, look how comes we've got all that big men outside these bookies' place, standing up all day, 40, 50-year-old men.
Yeah.
And he said what it is, he said back in the day, the man them was never lazy. They used to be selling food, they used to be running their thing, they used to be doing everything in the community. But the community never supported them. When they went to the banks to get loans to develop their businesses, the banks slammed the door in their face. We know the story, and this was his explanation as to why those same said men are now standing up outside the bookies.
I'm not with that. I'm not quite with that.
Yeah.
I'm not quite with that. I mean, some of them might have had good ambition and through disappointment and setbacks. But I don't think that's a good enough excuse.
Is there any justification? Yeah.
They have to show an example.
For real.
Even me, I'm just 31. But I can't flex the same way as I was when I was 21.
That's right.
So each level of life you're at, you have to act according to that age.
Yeah. But again, you see, Pete Man would say, where is it written in stone that is the case? Because you can walk on any street corner or go into any what they call shubbing, and you'll see a man that's maybe 48, 49, and he's checking bare school girl, and he's going on like he's still, 19 years old.
No, to me, he's still a boy.
He's still a boy.
He's a man, but boyish.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean.
The mentality.
Yes. And that's where you have. That's why.
X said he's retarded. Yeah, backward in his thinking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For real, you know?
That's what we have to really pinpoint. Even now, let's go to the big women now.
Yes, the big women.
The big women.
And you got, alright, let's talk about the big women. We got some of our big women that is, they got daughters old enough to have grandchildren for them. And these big women is walking street in bra and body rider and just getting on a way.
Not only that, they might chat people business on the road, on the street.
Yep.
In a people business, criticize people business.
So.
Mm-hmm.
And it's and as a result, people are dying. And you know something that shocked me, brethren? Something that shocked me, and it's maybe 5 years ago I realized this, and I must have been late, but I just realized it. Do you know how many black women there are? Okay, as what we would call grandmothers, that completely condone their children, be it their daughter or their son, peddling crack or cocaine, see, and actually help them do it. Now, I'm not saying that it's a very, very large amount, but we have these grand people in our community that are prepared to do anything to make a money. So we get back to the same point. If that is what the bigger people are dealing with, what opportunity or what chance is there for the younger ones coming?
Exactly. And I think that has to be really pushed further, because if you don't lay the foundation for a next generation to step into, for them to step up,
so don't you think though?
The vicious circle continues and continues.
That's right.
Continues.
That's right.
If the black community really took responsibility and did what we're supposed to do, all of us.
Yes. Yeah.
We wouldn't be talking like this now in the 21st century.
We would have changed.
20th century talk, and we're back on it again.
The same thing, huh?
The reason why we're back on it again, and we have to be back on it again, is because we have not addressed it and pushed.
We haven't moved any further.
Agenda. We have not done it.
Yeah.
Now, sorry. Question for Doctah X.
Okay, he's here.
Yeah. Can I? Yeah.
Yeah, go on. He's listening to you.
Yeah, Doctah X.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Yeah. You said something about you put money towards the Nation of Islam, yeah?
Yeah.
And for a school or something, you put money towards
that.
Yeah. And you said, correct me if I'm wrong, that you cannot send your child there because they're not Muslim. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Could you go further into that, please? Because
all it means is that when they were setting up the school, in South London, they was asking everybody, all people. They weren't asking Muslim people. They were asking everybody. Yeah. But then they set the school up for Muslims. You get what I'm saying? So they take the money off of what they call it, heathens and whatever, and then they make their own school. So what they should have done was ask more Muslims. But it's just a form of capitalism. It's not. It's what usually goes on. It's business. It's nothing different. But I'm just trying to make the point that that's how it runs. If it was for a school for all, they said a school for black children. But when you check the school, it's all Muslims, all Nation of Islam. So how could that? So what they've done is it's a bit like a trick, isn't it? You ask people to say, and you deal with their conscience, and you say, oh yeah, put a black man. I'm trying to, we're trying to build a school for black children. You get what I'm saying? So you put me in that psychological conditioning. Yeah, and then I give you £1 or £2 or whatever I make my contribution, and you put that in your kitty, and then when you eventually get enough money, you open it only for Muslims.
Yes, because I think being a religious organisation, which one of the organisations which I respect myself, but I think that policy there is disgusting.
Of course.
I don't care who they are.
Well, do you see that? And that's why I do that on the Rego Chat Show. You get what I'm saying? I think the policy of stopping somebody in there, I'm walking about my business along the main road. I think somebody jumping in front of me and saying me, black man, biting my newspaper, I think that is disgusting. Because I'm going about my business. You can call to me from the side. You don't have to stop my maneuverings. You know what I'm saying? And and lots of times I've had to say to them, don't do that, man. Do not do that. If you want me to buy a paper, say, call me from the side so at least I can look and carry on my walking. Don't stop me in my tracks. You know what I'm saying? So the point I'm just dealing with the fact, all of these inconsistencies. That's what I'm dealing with.
Yes, because I think that has to be really highlighted fully so that the community can really understand this.
Yeah, they're Muslims. This
when you said that sometime last year, I can't remember when.
Yeah, I've said it.
I was flabbergasted.
Yeah. But it's true though. It's not something I've never made it up. It's true.
No.
Everybody that knows of the school would know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, the point I'm trying to make is that religion, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to black development, gets in the way because everybody's got their own agenda. You know what I'm saying? I want to share the agenda. So I'm a free thinker and I want to share the agenda. So I want to present my heathen self, so to speak, then, or my non-belief self, so that these people can't affect me with their beliefs. So what I'm talking about is black people's development. I spoke earlier on to Samantha and I was talking about a subculture. If we want to affect change, we have to develop a political subculture, because that's the only thing, because then we'll put all the overseers in their place. We'll use our history to point out why these people are doing what they're doing. We'll use our history to point out who we are within this society. But right now, with so much different religions, so much different agendas, right wing, left wing, middle wing, all kinds of wings, you know what I'm saying? We can't seem to get a grounding.
We're all over the place.
All over the place, blood. So, you know what I'm saying?
One last stuff come up here, somebody mentioned about Paul Boateng, Uncle Tom and all this. He was on telly this morning, actually while the talk show was going on, and I was watching something about the youth program and politics and that. But he was on there.
And he was, said again?
Watching the program.
Yeah.
I was going on still. I had to tell you turned up now.
Yeah.
The Paul Boateng was mentioned. He was on there.
Yeah.
So he was manipulating the people's minds everywhere you see them. And as you said on your show a few weeks ago, that you don't see people like yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
On TV, you see these sellout niggas on there
all the time. What I'm saying is, where is the other voice? That's all I'm saying. You've got the left wing, the middle wing, the liberal wing, the up wing, the far right, the BNP. Where is our other voice? Why have we only got one voice when it comes to the political arena and all these other arenas? Why have we only got jokers and sellouts and Uncle Toms and overseers? What happened to the field Negro or the the most, you know what I'm saying, the militant? What happened to him?
Yeah, I think I don't know if you might agree with me or not, but I think we here in this country, with our rebellious nature, that they must find that a deep-rooted threat.
Of course, but I mean, they're bigger than us. Why should they find it a threat unless they do realise that we do hold a lot of sway in the society if we get hold of it? So that means that they're stopping our natural flow then, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, that's where the people power comes in.
Right.
The people power.
Genesis.
That's what they are really threatened of.
Yeah, blood. This is what I'm saying, Genesis. This is why I keep saying Genesis, because Genesis is willing to go the extra mile and willing to come out and expose, even if remember, because Genesis is the one who gives me the leeway to say what I'm saying. Expose.
And me too.
Sorry?
And me as a general public caller.
Exactly, right, to expose the true natures of what's going on, instead of keep saying, so what do you think about neosexuality? What do you think? Because anybody can think anything. We need to find avenues, we need to recognize consistencies, because in any science you have to find a consistency, don't you?
Yes.
So if the science of trying to free our mind, we have to look at the consistencies that keep us oppressed. And then when we look at it, we find that it's mostly, or in terms of power, a lot of black people are out there oppressing us. So that's the science of it. So then we need to find an organization or a group, subculture, or whatever, to help alleviate that pressure and highlight the pressure and highlight what's going on. Yes?
Exactly. Even the ones closest to us, covertly is holding us back.
Right.
A stumbling block.
I say that many times. Your girlfriend, your mother, your sister, your brother, only because of their beliefs, not because they really want to hold you back, but because their mindset is wrapped around a belief that is stifling to your progression.
And fear.
And fear. That's a good point. Yes, definitely. Definitely.
A fear of the unknown, a fear of progression, a fear of forwarding. If people was afraid to fly on the moon, they wouldn't go to the moon.
Exactly. Or fly off, or fall off the edge of the earth.
Yes. And I think that's a psychological
indoctrination type of thing.
Yeah. It's making us. If you don't flow and forward yourself, you become dysfunctional.
That's right. I agree with that.
And stagnant and unbalanced.
Okay.
That's why you have so many. You can make comparisons between unhealthy, unbalanced, dysfunctional families and the healthy ones.
Wow, bang on, Peter. You see what I'm saying? This is what I love when when we get this kind of feedback, when people are actually, they know what's going on. You get me? But what we need to kind of pull these people together. It ain't gonna happen today. But I'm saying that's what we're driving for. We don't want to repeat nothing that we've done before, because none of the other things have worked. All this let's meet and let's talk. No, it has to be clear. The agenda has to be new. It has to be fresh. It has to be uncharted.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Uncharted territory.
Right.
Yes. Anyway, I'll just have to leave it there.
Okay, yeah, nice one, please.
Yeah. All right, respect.
07940 186067. Exit just still wants to talk. Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, Commissioner.
Okay.
Yeah, going back to the last, you said about the bait shop business.
The man them outside the bookies.
Yeah, it's the same thing, innit? See when they go in there and lock it down with the community centers, whoever they've got to go after.
Yes.
See, if you don't come out to support the cause, then that's the same thing that, exactly what Tank was saying about the youth they ain't got no one to look up to.
So in other words, the same thing, because I remember we had community centres where you could go there on a Tuesday evening and you'll see all of the old men there, rather than being outside the bookies. Or you go there, on a day in the week and you'll see all of our granny's age and mummy's age is there, and they're sitting together, living together.
That's right.
From we don't have the buildings, all of that is smashed again.
That's right. So if we don't come out and support the buildings, now obviously we're going to lose everything. So, because even though we're talking, we got to come out, start to support these.
But you see, again, H, maybe it's time for us to realise, put your hand in your pocket and buy your own building. So no one can't dictate to you. No one can't tell you come here and get the keys and you got to be out by this time. Blah blah blah. That's what we as a community need to start doing.
Yeah, that's a question mark, though, isn't it? That's a question mark, though, because how many of us are going to do that?
Well, it's time, I mean, that's what we're here for. It's time. And if all we can do is just keep telling people, and I think you got to be blind right now to see there's no community centres, there's no youth centres, there's nowhere for the children to go, there's nowhere for us to congregate together. If we want to use a building now, we've got to find money to go in there and pay, so. And if the community at large doesn't see that, it doesn't matter where you say you are, be you middle class, upper class, lower class, or you know what I mean? We can see that. We can all see it. So it's time for us to get together. If we've got to put £1 in our pocket. Genesis talked about this some 3 years ago,
Yeah, I know.
And I remember people actually went out and started identifying buildings. So we're 2000 now. Maybe it's time to do it.
Yeah, I was saying as well, right? You need the basic things. You need security. If we're not gonna do all that stuff we've done before. People just come. You need people who would volunteer to say, all right, then I'll be on the door and rare search people or whatever. You need you need people who would respect other different cultures and other different beliefs. So that way, all that stuff that we've done before cannot be done again. Black Panthers cannot be revitalized. Pan-Africanism is where it's at. We are talking about a whole new, like the caller said before, uncharted territory. Something where we're losing our fears and inhibitions and saying, well, we've never done this before, let's give this a go.
For real. Alright then.
My brother, you take care.
Doctah X, nice show last night, yeah. Let's look at that, yeah.
Keep it locked.
Alright, big up, yeah.
It's happened again. Okay, and at the same time, London, whilst we're plugging back in this phone, I was saying something. In Jamaica there, okay, cocaine has increased in terms of the exportation of cocaine from Colombia. Good afternoon, caller. Yeah, caller? Yeah, this is Genesis, caller. What's your name, please?
Yeah, I'm Authur. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on, try again, caller.
Sorry?
Yeah, go on again, we can hear you now. Now you
yeah, it's Doctah X there.
Yep, hold on.
Hello?
Hey, Doctah X, this is Authur.
Oh, how you doing, man?
Yeah, man. First of all, I must say, your show last night was very good.
Was it?
Yeah.
They wouldn't phone me up, though.
Eh?
I wanted people to phone me up. I was ready for phone calls yesterday.
I wanted to phone you, but I was sort of doing something, right?
Okay.
And that was done. Anyway, the point is that the week before was good. It was good as well.
Okay.
One other thing, a couple of things actually I'm going to talk about before racism.
Okay.
You know, just homophobia.
Sorry, Arthur, you're cracking up.
Yeah.
Sorry?
The word homophobia.
Homophobia, yeah, okay, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Now, I like to remind young people in this country, right? In 1968, when I was a teenager, in 1968, right?
Yeah.
I remember coming 1968, 70, 71, those white boys used to say to me, let's go in the park and let's do a thing called queer bashing.
Queer bashing, yeah.
Queer bashing, yeah?
Yeah, that's remember,
So whenever, when I see some of our so-called black intellectuals coming to black people and telling that Jamaican people are homophobia, what have you, they don't understand the issue of the society. I've never heard in Jamaica when I was 12 years old about people going around and doing something like queer bashing. That's not part of the Jamaican psyche. You understand?
Yeah.
So it seems to me that whenever the white man say anything in the society, because we don't know ourselves and don't know our history, we pick up this thing and run with it.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to dig deep. Because the society used to beat the white man in the...
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're cracking up though. I lost a bit of that.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying this society was beating white men in the park because they were queer.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, call it what you like, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
And that never happened. Black people never used to do that sort of thing.
That's right.
Right? And murder them as well.
Yeah. But you see, we have a policy, black people have a policy, I would agree, I think Commissioner would agree, of live and let live.
That's right.
What we're saying is don't bring your thing on us. That's all we're saying.
That's right.
They are the ones who are trying to destroy each other. We're saying, if you want to be that, be that. Homophobia is more of a crime than racism. How can homophobia come and pass racism when racism was far more apparent long before homophobia was even in the picture?
That's right.
Homophobia is more of a crime now than racism, or racist bashing.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? Right? I'm going to move a little bit from that, right? And your brother were touching something about the question of facts, get other things together. We can't really, like I said, jump in on the police thing. I've been on the police so bad. I've been running in the police as a youth in this country in the 70s, yeah? As a young man in the 70s, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
And this law and all that something like that. I've been to West where police headbutt me. I used to be on the street and I was studying the newspaper.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But I've got to put running in the police. But we can't concentrate so go for the real issue of racism.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You take an example now, the situation in Mozambique today.
Okay.
Right? Where you find millions of black people have got no way to live. Yeah? With the flood and what have you. But people don't understand. The situation in Mozambique or the war in Mozambique didn't just start because black people killing black people. It was inspired by America and the West.
Yeah. I agree.
You understand?
Yeah.
Right? We can't just look at it on the surface. Every time we look at things surface, that will not solve the problem.
That's right. It's like what Commission's always talked about, looking at people's trainers and rare. We've developed such a society that we judge you by what you're wearing. So that's why a lot of people won't go in the same room with a lot of other people, because if I come in with my trainers and my gold chain or whatever, somebody who hasn't got it is busily watching what I'm getting on and not watching my behavior or what I'm spitting out of my mouth. You get what I'm saying? And that's why we can't come together, because we have been preconditioned to judge people visually.
Yeah, I mean, I say I'm going to talk because I don't want to bug the line, but you see, I'm moving right to the racism situation where I see it. Yeah. I mean, I get the question of Mabutu. I hear the man actually who was told a billion, over a billion,
Yeah.
They estimate that he stole about $2 billion American dollars.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, this is the issue.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Hi.
Hello,
can you hear me?
Yeah, you're cracking up really bad, Arthur.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
The issue is that...
See, you're gone again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but as you're talking, you're just cracking up, so I'm losing a lot of what you're saying.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm in the call box, actually.
Okay.
Can you get me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying the question. What happened to Mabutu's money?
Yeah.
Right. You know, we pretend that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
and million people are starving in Zaire.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks to America.
Yeah. Even in Nigeria, there's loads of beggars on the street. Same way. Loads of little children on the street. Yeah.
See, so we have to, as a black people, we have to understand our history, deep, understand our situation in the society here.
Yeah.
You understand? We have to understand our issue, our history, right? And get our priorities correct.
Okay.
Right? We can't just do a thing that looks, oh, it is this and this is that, right? I mean, example, the white man in the society here now, he's got enough economic power and strength, right? So he can deal with the problem, gay issue, right?
Yeah.
But 10 years ago, he didn't want to tackle it.
Yeah.
He didn't feel he can handle it.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
But now he feels he can handle it.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So you don't expect us as people to go along with him. What's our position in the society here?
Right, which is why, you see, what you're talking about again, Arthur, like Samantha and a few others have said, is that you are talking about a political subculture. You, Arthur, Samantha, you are all a part of a political subculture, but you're so spread out and you're so thin on the ground that you cannot be recognized as a political. What you do is you talk between yourselves. What you need to do, maybe Genesis needs to help to father or whatever, is a coming together of this subculture. And if we start in South London, it will catch on in North London and West London.
That's
so
right.
We start to now have a voice of what we truly know or we truly feel is going on. You get what I'm saying?
That's right. That's what we need to do.
That's
we need
right.
to come out, like I said, in a subculture, and put these points forward to the youngsters.
That's right. And also to the people who claim that they're representing us.
Yes. We ought to challenge them. Right?
That's
we
right.
have to challenge the like of Paul Boateng, the like of the guy, what's his name, from Brixton there.
Trevor Phillips.
Yeah, Trevor, and all these guys, right?
Yeah.
We have to challenge because I'm not scared to go and talk to any one of those guys.
Yeah.
Because they don't know more than I
That's
do.
right. That's what they call, what white people would call lobbying. Yeah? That's the reason why homosexuals get their agenda on the agenda, because they have homosexuals willing to lobbying is best a basic form of harassing an MP to get the issue put on the thing. We don't have nothing like that. All the people that represent us only come out of the woodwork when something major goes on, and they come out in their overseer coat and says, well, yeah, we're represent, and they wash everything down. You get what I'm saying? So what we need, what we're going to do, hopefully one day, between now and the year's up, is the momentum that we're creating between Commissioner, myself, and other talk show, is to come to a point where we do have that meeting, where we do have some form of meeting. But it will be, like I said, uncharted territory. It won't be the same old thing repeated again.
No. We can't do. Because like I said before, these guys who are in the position, the house niggas, these are the same guy that was operating in the Caribbean over the last 300 years.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand.
They're no different. Because, for example, my mom used to tell me that when she was a girl in Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
That used to have these so-called overseers, right?
Yeah.
House niggas, informers.
Yeah.
If say, for example, her grandma used to tell her that she'd come out of the end of slavery, literally, right? And they used to go and sort of maybe steal molasses. You know what molasses is? Sugar. Raw sugar,
yeah.
Right? When you used to have these house niggas, used to inform.
Okay.
Right? Used to inform. Not only that, they used, if you try to sort of undermine the Busherman, which is the man who's in charge, right?
Which is that Busherman is just a Jamaican name for an overseer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. If you try to undermine him, you find these guys will go and tell the man who's in charge, the white man, listen,
that's right.
These guys only trying to steal your molasses. Right? And then when that man will get some more sugar from the white man.
Yeah.
Right? It's no different. They used to get sugar, right, and thing for their children. Right? What they getting now is £40,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, you got it.
So what's the difference?
No difference. That's what I'm trying.
What's the difference?
That's what we're trying to make the public understand.
I want to ask black people in London today, what's the difference between those people in the Caribbean used to undermine my grandparents?
But it's not just in the Caribbean, throughout Africa. All over, even on the ships. Just like the Jews who used to wear the swastika in the streets. Right. They've always been there.
Right? What's the difference?
No different. Not to my mind anyway.
Right? So the white man, see, the white society has moved on a bit more sophisticated at the present time.
That's right.
Right?
That's
they have moved on. Right? They can afford to flaunt certain issues. They can afford to gay out, to bring the gay out in the open.
That's right.
Right? They can afford to, for example, you take the question of black and white now issue. You still want to touch it.
Yeah.
You take, for instance, black man with white women.
Yeah.
Right? In the 60s, right? My other uncle used to go and chase white women in Cable Street. Right?
Yeah.
They couldn't walk down the street with those white women. As a teenager, when I go and look for my uncle, I have to go down to a place called Cable Street where all the white prostitute hangs out. Right? They couldn't come out at a certain time at night, and I couldn't go there. I was a youngster.
Yeah.
Right? And they would get beaten by white boys, but black guys now can come out on the street and say, look brother, we got white women.
Yeah,
but it's no different. That means you get white women in the 60s,
same way.
Right? But now what society has become more sophisticated.
Yeah.
They don't want a confrontation between black and white on the street.
That's right.
So what they do, they use the media now to undermine black people by putting the black man with the white woman and say that's the way to go.
Yes.
Because they can afford now to give a few thousand white women who they don't really need, the low class white women, right? Give it to the black man, right? To interbreed, right? And to undermine.
Yes.
But the black man himself cannot get the middle class or upper class white woman.
Yes.
And I will challenge any one of those sportsmen. How many of them you see with the upper class white women? Not one.
That's right.
Because the upper class woman doesn't want these black boys because they got no brains.
That's right.
Because whenever they look in the mirror, they don't like themselves.
That's right.
Right? But the white society knows that.
That's right. Because the upper class is known as the stock, or aristocracy. That means it's the best stock that they have. It's the best breed of the white person. Is the Aryan stock. Aristocracy. So therefore, you don't see no black man up in that level. They're always down on some model and some girl with some, pretty looking girl or some pub woman, or you get what I'm saying? Yeah, that's true.
We have to understand this psyche of the society here.
Yeah.
We have to dig deep, right? So that our youngsters can understand where we.
Yeah, respect, Authur.
I don't want youngsters think a man like me who been from the 60s as a teenager. They think, well, in this country and don't do nothing, I don't say nothing. We fought. As a teenager, I've been on the street.
Okay.
Like I said, I get in the head, but police.
Yeah. Well, you keep it locked. That's what I'm saying, Authur. You stay locked, because when that day comes, when we do, it's not going to be a big day, but it's just going to be a time, and we'll see if there's people who have talked over the months and whatever will turn up for this for our meeting to see if they're really on that, because it's all about the children, it's all about the future. Because you won't be around, I won't be around in the year 2300. But are you gonna make a representation for what's going to happen in the future?
And I'm gonna go right, but one thing I must say, right?
Yeah.
I was listening to one talk show yesterday, maybe it wasn't yours, but I know some sisters phony, and they were seem to me a bit downhearted. I would like to say my black sisters, right?
Yeah.
Don't get downhearted whenever you see our so-called brainwashed black men walking like zombies, right? Because I got girls in my family. I wouldn't like some of these black boys who are completely brainwashed to get involved with my daughter.
That's right.
You understand? So my sisters out there, right?
Yeah.
I know they better stay strong with their black men and don't get downhearted and think you're gonna go and get some little wishy-washy any place.
Respect.
Right? So you're just misfit. You understand? Just you stay sisters. And don't worry about those football and the sports, because they themselves don't understand racism. They don't understand it. They have to dig deep.
Yeah, for real.
All right then.
Respect, Authur, once again.
Okay.
Yeah, as the commissioner would say, the whole of London heard that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay, London, I want to finish this off quick before you phone. As I said, there was a report about Jamaica, you see, and the drugs in Jamaica. See? Hold on. And the drugs in Jamaica being exported, seeing cocaine namely. And the report said the increase in drug exportation from Jamaica to Europe and the rest of the place is just increased so much it's unreal. But the report also said they don't understand how comes the increase of cocaine misuse on the island is going down. The reason why, when they done the research, they said the Rastas living up in the hills keep fire upon the cocaine. So that's what's stopping people from using it. See? Caller, you're in tune to Genesis. Sorry?
Doctah X.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, what you got to say, brother?
Yeah, I agree with the last call. You said, right? All this thing Doctah X saying, this unity and that. You don't think we have to unite before we could go? I can't repeat everything that he said, It's a long story. You don't think we have to have unity amongst the black population first? The black people first?
Before we can do any work?
Yeah. Because the last brother said the white man move on so much.
Yes.
But it's only the black man.
Well, I think, well, run. Come on, run. You're one that knows. You've been there from day one. And you've heard the call so much times. You've seen the people them come out on several occasions. And sometimes it just comes to naught. You know what I mean? People come together. And one of the things is the same thing what I heard. You know, is a man will come and say, oh, well, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, I'm a Rasta, I'm a tab man, I'm a this. And from that point of view, they're not going anywhere. You know, but again, you know, Genesis done this already. We had Black Awareness Day.
Yeah.
Seen? Remember? Our security was from the Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
The food was being cooked by the Rasta. The Christian was doing the ushering. You know, everyone was working together. So maybe what the community needs now is for these things to be put on, for everyone to be invited and to make them come, and rather than we just talk and say yeah let's do it together, actually come into one building together and start talking.
Sorry, Ron, when you go to a fun fair, do you care what religion the person is that's turning the wheel?
No.
Nah. When you go to a picture house, do you give a shit what religion the people are that showing you the movie?
No.
Nah. So where is this ideology come from with black people? This weak ego that we seem to have developed over the years. That every time you go somewhere, you got to carry this thing on your shoulder. But when it comes to white people organization and white people's places of entertainment and white people places of knowledge, you forget your religion. You're willing to listen. You're willing to take part. You know, I'm talking in a meeting and some woman's going to say, in the name of Jesus. What? What for? What are you doing? What's that all got to do with anything? We're talking about an issue that doesn't require the Jesus at the moment. When you go home, you can pray. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't believe in that. So why are you forcing that on me when you don't go to the pictures house and you don't bless it? I've never seen these Christians go into a pictures house and bless it. Have you ever been there in the queue when somebody's blessing it before they go watch a movie? Because I've never been in a queue of such. So that means they have them. It's a problem that black people have amongst black people. This overseer mentality, Uncle Tom mentality, house nigger mentality, all these other things. Those are our psychological problems. It has nothing to do with the rest of society. We have no Freud. We have no Weber. We have no, people who are looking at us and our problems. That we ratify and that we say, well, yeah, go to Doctah X or go to Commissioner. We don't have these people. Everybody wants to be a brain box. If Commissioner says something, somebody else is going to come in and say, yeah, well, I know this and I know that. If I say something, somebody else knows something. They don't give people a chance to play out their role. You get what I'm saying? Because everybody once it's good for one person, everybody else wants to jump on the bandwagon. Yeah, sorry.
I think that all that the sister and the brother was talking, and you said we must get together and blah. We got to meet and we got to have unity amongst our meeting, isn't it?
This is what I'm saying. If, like as Commissioner explained, the last meeting, it was short notice and rare, but we still got a nice turnout, yeah? And what we're saying is that the next one would be even far more organized because we are a fetus. We're trying to do something that nobody else has attempted. So obviously it's not going to be great in the beginning. We're not going to do what everybody else has done. So therefore, as time goes on, the child will grow. It will be able to use its hands. It will be able to feed itself. But what do you expect us to do? What do you expect us to come out with a £1 million production and the first time, and we got about 100 quid between us? You get what I'm saying? These are the things that people won't look into realistically. They don't realize that the television companies, they get thousands of £1,000s. All these other slick productions that they've seen, there is government-sponsored things. So it looks slick and it looks produced, but what? It's government owned. They're still trying to brainwash you. We're trying to free your mind. So obviously, we don't have them kind of resources at hand. These resources become developed as time goes on. If you're frightened to put £1, if we charge a fee of £1, nobody wants to come in. Oh, it's just about talk. They're just going to be talking. They don't want to come in. £1.
Well, we had that with the 7 words before.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that's one thing. This is something else. You get what I'm saying? This is another movement according to another, what we call like an explorer, an uncharted territory, doing something that we've never done before and seeing where it takes us. But as a caller was saying earlier, when the sailors went off and didn't care whether they fell off the end of the earth, when the people went up into space and tried something that wasn't tried before. You understand what I'm saying?
All right.
So I understand what you're saying about unity, but unity can only come from an organized kind of event, so to speak, can't it? You ain't gonna just fall out of the sky. Yeah. All right then, Ron. Nice one.
Okay, you all, the number is 07940186067. That's if you want to get through. It's a People's Talk Show. It's your time. Yes, they said that the Rasta men them up in the hills was chanting down the cocaine, so that stopped the increase of use on the island of Jamaica, in cocaine. Even though more is coming in from Colombia and it's being exported, it takes a day in a speedboat from Colombia to Yard, you know. So this is some of the things, again, that are serious things maybe we should be addressing, because it affects us. How much of us send back money back home? You know what I mean? Or bring someone up here, or is looking after someone, or is building someone's house, or got granny and whoever else back home. It's the same in Africa. So when you ask the question now about the unity, the only way the unity is going to come, we can sit here, X and I can be in here and we can talk, other presenters can come in here and talk, and we can just let it off. You all can phone in as well and you can talk. But you see, if we don't stand up and face each other and look in each other's eyes and speak to each other and say, yeah, you know, I'm for this, let's do this, let's do it together. See, and you see, if we don't look at each other in our face, because I'll know, you know, you see, when I see X and he says to me, yeah, my brother, and it all sounds good. But you see, when I look in his face and he's saying to me, yeah, look, I can see the passion, I can see the care, or I can see the love, or I can see the sellout. You understand? It works both ways. For real, you know what I mean? It works both ways. See, so this is the point of meeting. This is the point of us all sitting down collectively and dealing with whatever we had to deal with. For those of you that was at the last 2 Black Awareness Day that we done, we had Drunk Man come in and gave him the opportunity to say what he wanted to say. And I hear man say that in sometimes when man is drunk, the truth spills out from their heart. Everything that they couldn't say before, they get a little Dutch courage and they speak from their heart as much as they're drunk. See, and he got a response, and you know, he sparked something in people, other people that weren't drunk. Some of them said, yeah, shut up, you're drunk, man, and really. But see, now we've learned, this will be the 3rd one, and we've learned that there will be no drunks allowed in. When you come respectable. See, you come like you're coming to represent your nation, your people. And regardless, as you heard, I could be talking about Imhotep, you could be talking about Bagua. See? But when we come together to represent our nation. Because at the end of the day, you know, London, and you will tell me if it ain't the case, but at the end of the day, you know, in this world, it's all about survival. And every race is out to survive. See? And those that is slow to the mark, or you know, not quick to take off, and not quick in terms of you got to go out and get all heap of money, and sometimes money isn't the answer, you know. And before we get to the economic situation, we have to get to the level where we're even talking to each other. We're going to take this call. Good evening, caller. You're in tune to Genesis?
Yes, brother. Nobody ringing me. Sorry, just got the opportunity to come back.
Okay.
Right. That same drunk man, that brother, he was speaking sensible thing that time.
He was speaking sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Although he was drunk.
That's right.
He was speaking sense. So I don't think we should condone him.
Okay.
For his drunkenness.
Okay.
Right. I have a little article here. Group couple. Face boot out. A gay policeman sergeant was facing the boot yesterday after he was convicted for grouping a boy. Standing next to him in the toilet. David Level 41 run out.
Hold on, rewind. Did you say a police?
A police sergeant. Right? He was trying to feel up a little 16-year-old body in the toilet. Right? Because all week this everything is police this, police that.
Yeah.
Right?
There's been a story in every day. One of the either broadsheets or the tabloids has had a story on.
Even early in the week there, you saw for this policeman, he was taking 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I've got it right here in front of me. An Old Bailey judge yesterday expressed his anger as a Scotland Yard officer admitted that he was a drug addict. The confession came as Detective Constable Colin Goring gave evidence in a murder trial. After taking a stand as a prosecution witness, he revealed that he had abused drugs for a decade. At first he used cannabis, but then became hooked on cocaine, taking up to 2 grams a day. He described his addiction as an expensive habit. Although his superiors are aware of the problem, he remains a serving Met police officer. He has not been suspended or disciplined and is currently on sick leave and full pay. The policeman's remarks appeared to anger the trial judge, Martin Stevens QC, who said, "I'm very unhappy about this. I had absolutely no warning or knew about it in advance." He added, "I take it this officer knows the law." The judge then warned Detective Constable Goring that he was not obliged to answer any questions which might incriminate him. The officer replied, "I have nothing to hide. I will answer any questions." However, he repeatedly refused to identify who had supplied him with drugs. You see, Ron?
Yeah.
Policeman, you know. Detective Constable.
Right. Well, this.
And also, sorry, Ron. And also in the Times this morning, yeah, they've got on the front pages. They're worried about Prince William's little circle of brethren who are taking drugs as well. So let them go on. You see, they feed black people one thing, and it just reacts and comes back to them. So let them go on.
But this is not what society is all about, my brother.
Yep, for real.
You do as I say, but not as I do.
Not as I do. And again, it's been said on Genesis, you know. From The Godfather. Watch the Godfather movie, and when the man asks the Italian mafia boss boy, he says, "What do we do with these low-grade drugs?" And the man says, "Get them to the blacks."
Yep.
And that was the mentality. But what, as X said, what's happened now is everything that they pour down on our heads and on our children's heads is just double back to them, right up to the Prince Charles' son. Seeing is in it now.
Well, go back to this grouping couple here.
Yeah.
Group. Off his coat, but he had his bank receipt.
He had his bank receipt in his coat pocket, and that's how they caught him. Otherwise, we wouldn't know. And again, Ron, remember, you know, last week before, they had this big blow-up report about the paedophilia ring up in North Wales in all the children's homes. See? And there was 3 senior serving police officers, and I mean senior, that was named by these children that had been abused over a period of years. You know, so when we look at these things, you know, you can have the chief commander or whatever they want to call him of this area, and the man, same one, is paedophile. See? So, and it works all the way down. The same thing Doctah X was saying about is it Authur? We're talking about the homophobia, okay? And if we look at the situation, the same Metropolitan Police that says they're dehumanized and everything is down on their back and rear, they have their own gay and lesbian society within the Metropolitan Police Force.
Of course. Because this one is put on the offender register list now.
Yeah, he's on the sex offenders list. And he's a serving policeman. What kind of madness is going on? You got a serving policeman that is on the sex offenders at risk. What do you call it? Huh? What kind of madness is this?
This is our British policeman, brother and sisters, who we pay our council tax in it.
Yep.
Community charge.
Yep.
Community charge.
And again, I don't know. A lot of you wouldn't know, but there was a PR exercise that took place this week on the TV, most of the media, where we had this black policeman. I think there's a show that comes on at night, and he's one of the presenters. But we had this black policeman who was on holiday in New York and saw some crime going. Saw someone robbing someone's purse.
Last year.
Well, he's been on telly all this week.
Yeah.
And what he done is he tackled this person and held on to them, even though the person had a gun. Okay, he followed them down into the tube station, called the police, and they apprehended this person with a gun. And Mayor Giuliano, I don't know if you know about Mayor Giuliano.
Yeah, that devil.
Okay.
I know about him.
Mayor Giuliano gave him the Medal of the City and the this and the that, and sent him back home and said, "Yep, we need more police like those British bobbies."
Yeah, still a nigger though.
Thank you. Thank you. Huh?
You see, these are the terms that we've been talking about.
For real.
Early on, you know.
That's
These
right.
are the terms.
That's right. Huh?
He's prepared to go up there on every kind of show and say, yeah, well, you know, as a British police, I couldn't see it, and not once did he talk about the amount of our children that's dead in police custody.
No, he wouldn't. Because if you look at it, he wouldn't. He would never, because if he go and if you have a wife or a girlfriend,
yeah,
he's a Caucasian.
That's right.
I know all these black devils we talk about, we must name and shame them more frequently. Like Trevor Phillips. What the other devil name? Black spokesman. Doctah X, no, his name is
Lee Jasper.
I'm sure he's listening.
Yep.
And many more.
Okay. And you see there's something more dangerous going on, Ron. These people, okay, like for this week again, like I think it's called the Trust of 99 or something like that. The Trust of 90 or something like that. But these people has got the likes of the Lee Jaspers, etc. They are talking to the government on our behalf, and they're telling the government, we represent the black community, we know what they want, and we're the representatives for them.
They named the big two, he and Trevor Phillips, they named the big two.
Yeah, because I don't know if a lot of people know, but Lee Jasper is actually a paid advisor to the Home Secretary.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. You see, we got to talk with these things because our black community don't know these devils, what they were about.
For real.
See?
So we need to
disguise, you know?
Again, you know what? I agree with that, see? But I think what we need to be doing now, right, is rather than trying to pull these people into line and, you know, bringing them up, just ostracize them, just cut off from them completely.
But when we even try to cut off their surface,
yeah,
because if you have a gathering, they come from the gathering.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. What we're saying is that, you see, again, I'm going back to what I was saying earlier on about the subculture. Once you have a subculture, it becomes incumbent upon those people who claim they represent us to represent us. You get what I'm saying? Right now, a lot of us are using this kind of this psychological let off on the airwaves, and saying our bit and getting it out of our system. So really, we're doing what psychoanalysts, what me and Commissioner's doing, is psychoanalyzing our community. We're helping people to, get out of their system stuff that's in there that they know is true. And what I'm saying, Genesis is providing the platform. You get what I'm saying? So
I would say that we have two different terminology with it, because you saying that, and I would say we're just trying to enlighten our community. What's going on? Because some of our black brothers and sisters still walking with a blindfold in their eyes.
But I'm saying, but you see, it's like you said, let's say then it's twofold then, because we have that, because we do have knowledgeable people phone as well, but we do have some people who, lots of shows that we've done, isn't it, that people just want to let off their frustration. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, it has got that twofold. We do enlighten as well, but so a psychoanalyst would do that too. He would make you look at yourself, and he would let you show you stuff, and you know what I'm saying, he would tell you things you already know. So that's what I'm saying. So what we need to do then, because remember, a psychoanalytical process should only go on for a certain period of time. This is why you heard me, like I probably ban all for other radio stations and cuss them off, because I realized that in 3 years they're still doing the same thing. And what do you think about the state of black people? And do you think that Christianity, they keep asking questions all the time, so haven't you got enough answers yet? You understand, Ron? This is what I am saying. So the process that Genesis is all about and moving toward is coming to the end of the psychoanalytical process and moving to a more of an action process. But it's not tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? Because everything is about process. So we have to make sure that over a period of time we've come to this type of understanding, and people understand it. So when they do eventually turn up, or when they turn up, they will understand the mentality that they're going to be faced with.
Yeah, and I'm going to go now, because for the H, right, we're talking about the moonshot. That is what these council barons do. They run down the black community little project they have, right? They run it down, and then they say, you see those blacks cannot run anything?
I'm sorry to cut you, Ron, but black people run it down. Black people run it, and black people, they take the money and they thief the money. They take the resources and they they fund their houses. They buy their televisions out of the money that government accepts to put it for black people. So black people have to answer to black people. The reason why they can do what they're doing, because there's so much cloak of secrecy around money coming in and secrecy around how money's used and all that. So black people who are running these projects can take the money out, so there's not a significant amount of things happening in the project, so white people can use them could you imagine if like they had a regular people of like 100 a week or 100 a day going in there? You think they could have touched it? It's the people them who was using the building, who run down the building, use it to have dances and take the money and do else things with it and all that kind of stuff. So you don't blame us and say, oh, it's the government now and it's the government. They're doing what they easy target, isn't it?
Yeah. And before I go with that, before I go, it's quick. I think our black brothers and sisters, the black community in the whole, should stop blaming the white man for a lot of things.
No, I wouldn't agree with that. Them to get some blames here. What are you talking about?
Well,
maybe some things.
I think we got to stop blaming and look for ourselves.
Oh yeah, definitely. But not stop blaming, but also look upon ourselves, because I think they owe us a lot, but we also have to look upon ourselves.
We know that. We know they owe. Anyhow, it's a time for another thing.
Okay.
It's coming close. Time for this other debate. All right.
Nice one, Ron.
Yeah.
You get me? So, like what I was saying, Commissioner, yeah? I'm just saying that it's time. I'm not saying that that we shouldn't have these, but like you said earlier on, that we should buy our own buildings. But then once we buy them, then we own them, and then we are wondering, what if Commissioner's in charge? We want to know what Commissioner's doing with our money.
Yeah, caller.
Yeah, Commissioner.
Yes.
Some of the things you were saying earlier on, you just brought back deja vu, yeah? Because when you did the Black Awareness Day 4 years ago, I called in the following week and spoke about it. I said it was a boom, rare, the rest of it.
Yeah.
But the little failing was that we didn't have a follow-on the following year.
Yes.
And so therefore we didn't have that continuity.
We lost the momentum.
And that's what we need, the continuity.
Okay.
Because I came to the one last year and I couldn't see what was going on, because it was outside, yeah?
Yeah.
And I hung around, I came at the appointed time, I hung around, and I couldn't really see nothing pick up, and so I lost interest and I went away.
Okay.
And that's part of the problem as well, you know, the little bit of continuity. Because I heard a few callers earlier on, because I've been listening for about half an hour, I heard a few callers on saying little bits and pieces about a production, and I think your co-host was saying we're not putting on £1 million production and all of that.
Yeah, we haven't got them resources.
That 96 Black Awareness Day was £1 billion production. And it was the people that made it like that.
That's right.
And unless there was a positive attitude towards fellow black people, that particular day turned me around. Let me tell you that, and all of the listeners listening, that particular day, trust me.
Yeah. It done
and
something.
That was the first thing, that was the first one as well.
Yeah, that was the first time we had ever tried it.
That was the first of the Black Awareness Day for anyone who was there. We had all sorts of people.
Hello? Sorry, what's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
It's Brother D.
T. D, yeah. What D? You see what happened then? This is the difference, right? This is what happens to black people. I'm not trying to chastise nobody, but everybody was fresh. You know, they hadn't started to worry about their mortgage and their stuff to buy and this and that at that time. So the love was in them. You see what happened late by the time we hit this last one? People were leaving the station, wanted money, after the time they set up themselves now that they're getting regular playing now, they stopped caring about people. And that's the problem that we have. After you start to earn money, all that, like Commissioner was talking about, Paul Boltain back in the day, walking the street. Once they earn money, they seem to forget the plight of people. You see what I'm saying? So I understand. I wasn't there at that first one. You get what I'm saying?
At the first one?
No, I wasn't. But
well, they did a video, so I don't know if you saw the video.
No, I haven't.
But the video, even if they done a video, that couldn't give you the vibe of what was happening.
Yeah, I could have.
Because, like I said last year, I'm not the type to come to none of those meetings, and all the things you said, oh yeah, they're just chatting and it's the usual. Well, that was the attitude I come with, and that attitude was defeated by the time I left.
Whoa, how wicked.
Those venues is not things I go to.
Right.
And they weren't playing not only for music, they didn't say music's gonna lick this sound, that sound, nothing like that.
You see, but that's how when people are fresh, and you know what I'm saying, and like Commissioner would say, because Commissioner was there, Commissioner knows more about it than me, but he will also tell you about the second one, that the attitude was not there like the first one. It must
I was at both of them, brethren. This is what I'm trying to show you.
And you even said it.
Well.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that this is why we have to rethink, because we have to see what made it fail. One is what you said earlier on, the continuity. That's one. Yeah. Number two is the kind of attitude of the people that was working with the organization. You get what I'm saying? That's two. So you know what I'm saying. So the rethink now, so that the next one can be boom, as you're saying, and £1 billion production. It's all about a rethink, isn't it? You get what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you something, Bridget, and I'm going to keep it neat and sweet. The first one was the people that made it, because I saw the older heads there, the young, the baby on the breast, everything. Right? And that 96, that was the event of the year for me, regardless of what party or dance I went to. That was the main feature for me for 96.
Well, you see, what we hope, my brother, is that the 2000 now, the one in 2000, that is supposed to be the history maker. You know what I mean? That is supposed to be the turning point for us now.
They say the first cut is the deepest, so I don't think anything can be better than the 96. Because that
But this,
one
again, this would
that
be the
one
first.
changed my attitude, man.
This would be the first cut of the millennium. See?
And I'm talking about a mature person talking now. I'm talking about a little schoolboy. So that had an impression on me, and I thought I'd seen it all. But that was a nice day, very nice day.
Okay, my brother. We'll hope we can. I hope all of us can get together and repeat that again, or make it better than it was. See? You take care. Enough respect for your call.
Okay, then, man.
One love. Okay, you hear my brother said there, reminiscing, you know, or reminiscing of the old days and some of the things that Genesis has done. Good afternoon, caller.
Hello?
Yes, yes.
Good afternoon.
How are you? What's your name, please?
Yeah, same. I would just like to make a correction about the president of Nigeria.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I know.
Yeah.
I did realize it, but I never said it. So
All right, then.
you go on and correct us now.
And you were right about loads of people, loads of children being beggars on the streets in Nigeria. And regarding the stolen money from Nigeria by the previous head of state, they should track it down.
They should shut it down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like they did with the Jews.
Track them down and get back the money?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Because we hear, you know, sis, that a lot of the generals, the former generals, have got accounts in Sweden, Switzerland, France, all over the place. And it's vast, as you know. Enough big portions of money.
Yeah.
You know, so you think this right? Who should track it down? Should it be the responsibility of the now government, or should we have some kind of organisation set up specifically for the cases like this to track down missing money?
The international bodies should track it down.
Okay.
The government, yeah.
Okay.
Just like they're doing with the Jews. They track the money down for the Jews. The international body should track
it down. Okay, and even if it's an international body of, say, delegates from the West Indies, from other African countries, from South America, from wherever, you know, because we at the end of the day have got to be responsible for our own resources.
Yeah.
Now you was going to make a correction about the president of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Go on, let me hear it, please.
No, I've done that. His name, the president now is called Abasoja.
Abasoja.
Yeah.
Okay, not Abiola.
No.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
All right then, thank you.
Glad to know you're listening, sis.
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, you take care.
Keep up the good work.
Okay.
Thank you.
One love.
Bye.
Okay, you all were hearing it there. We had a little correction scene, which is true. Abiola was the brother that was in jail, that was elected as prime minister, but he died before he left jail. Okay, so that was a mistake on my part.
And you see, have you noticed the way the caller came and said? She didn't say, well, you lot got it wrong, and and we've had all that, haven't we? She just said, I'd like to make a correction, because what? The two people in here are human like everybody else, and we do make mistakes. Thank you a lot, caller. Yeah, caller? Hello? Can't hear you. Is it gone? Hello? It's gone.
Okay, we're coming up to the end of the show, you know. Did I hear the door? Okay, DJ B's here already. Star, how come you're coming in here so early? Huh? What's wrong with them, man? Don't you know about lateness? 07940186067. Try again. Here, Doctah X. Okay, caller, you in tune to Genesis?
Yes, good afternoon, Genesis. Good afternoon, Commissioner and Doctah X.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm Loisy, and I'd just like to say a few things. First one is we are working for the African Socialist International Planning Committee, and we're going to organize a conference in April.
Okay.
On the 15th and 16th of April, and you're going to have Africans coming from all over the world, coming from France, from Germany, from Africa. We're talking about grassroots organizations coming from Ivory Coast, because we believe the only way to solve all our problems is for us to build a unity for all African forces.
That's right.
From below. We're not talking about unity from above, but unity from below, from the people, from the grassroots. And the Africans here in Britain, they have a critical role to play. And the meeting takes place every Saturday now at Deptford Bridge Road, 4 to 16. 4-16.
4 to 16. Deptford Bridge Road.
And the name of the place is Bill's Mansions.
The place is called London. Are you all hearing this? Okay.
Bill's Mansions. And anyone who wants to ring, they can ring on 0171.
0171.
970.
970.
80.
80.
34.
34.
And
it's hold on. It's number 4 to 16. Built Mansions. That's BILT.
That's right.
Built Mansions, which is Deptford Bridge Road.
Yes.
Southeast 8, I think.
That's right. Southeast.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll just to say a few things. So I listened to the programs. There are many things that have been said. One was about the sellouts, like in South Africa.
Yes.
People like with the lazy. One thing is important is also to say that these sellouts, what they have done, they have stopped a revolution happening in South Africa.
Okay.
And that's the reason they have set up what they call truth and reconciliation.
Yep.
It's kind of a ceasefire between the African elite, we call them the African petty bourgeoisie, and the white ruling class. By the same time, there is no ceasefire between the African masses and the white ruling class.
Okay.
There have never been a ceasefire between the African masses and the white rulers for the last 500 years.
Even as you say that, you know, my brother, I know for a fact, I've seen it. They got a thing in Africa, in South Africa, they said because of all of the crime, where the white community are actually fitting flamethrowers to the base of their cars.
Yes.
So if anyone comes near their car, they turn on this butane thrower, and and the whole of their legs get burnt up before they can get near the car. Now, the reporter was actually saying, nowhere else in the earth would this be allowed by the government, by law. The only place you could go and see is in South Africa.
Yes.
And that's today.
Yes.
So what's gone wrong?
In South Africa, basically, you have a strong mass movement. But the head, the leadership of the mass movement was always kept in hand of the African petty bourgeoisie.
Okay.
And what we need to have in Africa, in South Africa, and throughout the whole African world is grassroots organizations. As Malcolm X used to say, you need the field Negroes organization with their own leadership, with their own programs. And if any house Negro wants to join in, he can join in, but with our own
under
program.
our rules. That's right.
Yes, and this is what we have to do. And this is what this organization, the African Socialist International, is going to be about. Is for the field Negroes to organize and to seize power. Because as we talk, as we discuss all our problems, but now we need to bring solutions and to say to the people how you will solve the problems. We know we need reforms, but for us, every reforms we fight for must be just a stepstone for the ultimate objective, which is a revolution, which means the system that was born at our expenses and is being maintained at our expenses must be destroyed. You can't solve our problems in another way, but you can solve the problems of the African elite.
Yes.
Just give them political power as you see in Africa and in the Caribbean.
Yeah, but the majority of the nation is still poor.
That's
still
right.
in
That's
poverty.
And I want to add two more points. One is on the question of the date. Many people do ask for the cancellation of the date, but we say the date in itself is also another basis to demand reparation.
Okay.
So we just don't talk about freedom. We're talking about having our resources back, because this is what the struggle is about. They control us, they contain us,
we want
so they can enjoy our resources.
For real.
So you don't just come to us and say, okay, as it happens in the so-called end of slavery, Africans are free, they can go, but we didn't get back our resources.
We want everything that came with us.
That's right.
Okay, my brother.
And the last point that I was going to say, just a question of Jamaica.
Yes.
With drugs, basically the white ruling class is using Jamaica as a center to bring drugs, to Europe and other places.
That's right.
And we should not see that as a decision of the African Jamaicans.
That's
This is being imposed. This is actually part of the economics.
That's
Drug
right.
economics being imposed on the Africans in Jamaica.
And you want to hear, but you want to hear something that's even more alarming.
Yes.
Is that now in Jamaica, as the rest of the West Indies, you're getting the Russian mafia buying up large chunks of the West Indies and going down there in communities.
That's right. That's right.
You know, the Filipinos, everyone's going down there and getting a piece, because strategically the West Indies in the drugs trade, is a very lucrative station or a very lucrative bus stop to have.
That's right.
You know, so all of these things is happening, and it's correct what you're saying. We haven't got any choice in this. We're just told, the world is being globalized and it's one big village now, so just live and let live. And these people are coming in, destroying the guts out of our community, and then taking the beauty and the wealth and keeping it for themselves.
Yes. You know, one more thing in relation to this. It means now the all world powers around the world, they have a basis now to attack Africans from Jamaica to take.
That's right.
To take any little democratic rights we may have.
That's right.
They will say, okay, Jamaica is a place of drugs.
Yep.
So they don't need to say, we hate, Africans or anything like that. They just say drugs coming from you.
Yep.
And this will be a basis to attack us even
more.
more.
That's right.
Even more. So we need to deal with this.
And then you see on top of that, and I'm sure that you've seen this, and it needs to be highlighted. What happens then is that between, let's say, the indigenous African scene and the West Indian African, okay?
Yes.
There becomes, between these ignorant ones, there becomes a gulf now, and you'll hear, I've heard Ghanaians, I've heard other Africans saying, boy, they're Jamaicans, they're the drug pushers, and you know what I mean? And these kind of gulfs start to create between the community yet again.
Yes.
So
what I can say, my brother, for like those of us who coming from the continent now, the African Liberation Movement didn't start with the Berlin Conference. The African Liberation Movement starts from the first time the white man set foot on the soil of Africa, attacked Africa and set Africans against Africans, and introduced the enslavement for our people.
Okay.
And we cannot talk about the freedom of Ghana or Nigeria, because we know the Ghanaians, the Nigerians, the Zambians, they are also in Jamaica. We are the same people.
That's right.
And the white ruling class has given us new nationality. They call us Trinidad, they call us Jamaicans, they also call us Nigerians, because we didn't decide to be Nigerians or Zambians or Sierra Leoneans. Take the word Sierra Leone, it's not an African word.
That's right.
The capital of Liberia is Monrovia, named after the President of the United States.
Yes.
And you can say Gabon, it's nothing to do with Africa, it's a Portuguese word.
That's right.
And
all over.
That's Cameroons,
the same as Mozambique.
Shrimps in Portuguese, and people call themselves shrimps. So basically, we are one people, and there is no way Africa is going to be free if we don't unite with the Africans outside of Africa.
Yes.
That's,
my brother.
We like it or not, it's a must.
My brother.
If you don't do it, we don't get our freedom. So,
enough respect, and everyone, again, your words are positive, okay? And and you keep us informed. At London, again, this brother here, I'm going to get him in. He's going to come on Genesis and be speaking to you all. So listen out for the next coming week. My brother, thanks for the positive words.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. All my people listening to Genesis, and keep listening to Genesis Radio.
All right. One love. Oru. Okay. Callers. We're coming up to our hour, What are you saying? Should we take one more call? Okay, we're going to take one more call, and then we're going to allow DJ B to come. We've got a little bit of community information that we'd like to give you. So again, get your pen and papers ready, because we've got some dates.
Hello, caller? It's gone. Is that us or them? Yeah, you see that call? I love that. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what background you come from, whether you're a fug off the road, whether you come from education higher. You get what I'm saying? Unity isn't about distinction, it's about people. Hello, caller?
Hello?
Hello, yeah. Can you turn your radio down a bit? It sounds we've got some echo there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, clearly. Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. What's your name?
Sister Dionne.
Dionne, hi.
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 Yeah, I just wanted to say, keep up all the good work and stuff. I'm a regular listener.
Okay.
Yeah,
see.
Yeah, I've been listening and stuff. But what I wanted to say, something brief, I was at uni on Friday, and I just learnt that I had actually failed a piece of coursework.
You failed it?
I failed a piece of coursework.
What did you get? D or just a fail or what? Or what did you get?
It goes in past, merit and distinction, and I
Okay.
didn't.
And you got a fail?
I got a diploma level, which is sort of like not passed.
Okay.
So anyway,
Yeah.
the man now
Uh-huh.
called me one side and said, "Oh, sorry to say, but you out of me and other people have not made the grade
Yeah.
for this piece of coursework, this module."
Which is it? Is it essential to you moving on?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I've got to resubmit.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I'm peed off. Quite frankly, all my other modules, I smashed them.
Yeah.
This is the only one now that I failed.
So there's are you going to tell us about the problem why you feel you
Yes,
failed?
I'm going to tell you the problem.
Okay.
Well, it is, this particular essay, was about racism.
Okay.
And obviously, I'm a Pan-Africanist, I think like that.
Okay.
And, a bits and pieces of my mind
Come
flowed
through,
in the essay.
Okay.
So obviously, I was anticipating a bit of trouble and stuff, but I thought, well, I might as well just say it anyway.
Okay.
As long as I've got references to substantiate what I'm saying.
That's right.
So anyway, I put it down. So now I reckon that I'm being the subject of discrimination because, as far as I'm concerned, enough people have read my essay and they can't fault it. Even if they don't even agree, that is not a reason to fail.
That's right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah,
Just purely disagreement is not a reason to fail. As long as you can back up what you say, you have to go through.
Okay.
Regardless.
That's how it's usually done.
Right. So anyway, I have to now resubmit. But I'm just thinking to myself, because I told my husband about this. He goes, well, you should never have done that in the first place. You should have just put a whole different topic, nothing to do with race, and just go through like that. But I'm a person, I'm not like that. I find it really hard to hold things back.
But listen, Dionne. But you know that's what most people have to do when they go through those things.
Yeah.
They mostly have to shut their mind off and write what and what he's doing, as far as I'm concerned anyway, is making a stance against your stance. He's saying, I am not allowing, I'm protesting at your, there's nothing wrong with your work, you know that. Yeah?
There's nothing wrong with it.
And I guess if I read it, or if anyone who knows about that sort of read it, couldn't find nothing. But he's protesting against your free thinking and your ability not to be in fear of the institution. Because he knows you. Most people remember, you won't be his first year. He knows about people like you. Lots of people pass through, and he watched them slowly bow and do what they're told.
Exactly.
And so he's saying, hold up a minute. What, doesn't she think she has to do what she's told as well? That's what he's talking about. So, you know what I'm saying, what can you do? Are you going to appeal?
I'm being bullied because obviously you need a certificate, you need a paper,
That's right.
but you need to conform to the certain way of what they're looking for.
Is there a process of appeal?
Put it this way, I'm going to resubmit,
Okay.
And if anyhow I still get trouble, I'm going to take this as high as can be. I ain't letting that rest.
Boy, I don't know. But you see, that's what we have to go to. You know how much people I know that do their degrees and all that and saying, I have to write this bullshit because they know that that's not what they really think.
I know, it's
But do they care though? Do they really care what you think? Is it a part of, like when you write stuff down that you don't believe in? Do you reckon that it could be a kind of psychological, brainwashing to yourself? Are you kind of programming yourself unwittingly and conforming? Do you think that's a part of it? That's why most of our people, then when they reach a personal strength, they find it hard to resist because
usually when I've been given essay titles, I'm always the one that avoids the race one. I don't want to go there because if I go there, I'm going to upset everybody.
Okay.
So I just don't bother. But in this particular one, I couldn't avoid the race issue. It had to come up.
Okay. Okay. But you see what I'm saying though, Dionne? You see, that's what, it's not only happening to you, it's happened to many people that we've known and stuff like that. And I'm just wondering, what do we do about that? When will we be able to write what we feel and be recognised for what we feel and not for what they think is a good piece of work? I don't understand.
Yeah, because...
We lost you. All that, you know what I'm saying, Commissioner? All that is a part of the agenda, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? It's like we don't get the ability to say what we feel. You know what I'm saying? Hello?
Yeah, I'm back again.
Okay, yeah.
I got cut off.
Okay.
Basically, what I really wanted to say is that it's like I know I'm being programmed, I know I'm being brainwashed, and half the time I have to keep biting my bottom lip, and I hate it. I really hate it because I come out of that place every day, and I'm fuming because I've had to hear some nonsense in the lecture, and I can't even raise my hand to speak out against it because I'm the only black person on the whole course.
Oh, please.
You know what I mean? I'm the only black person on the whole course, which is ridiculous.
But you see, again, sorry, can I inquire as to what the course is called?
It's a master's degree in psychology.
Right. See now, well, you see, this is again. So we've gone right there. Now you see that particular level. Do we really? Do people want to go there though? Do we find out people want to go there? And because you're going there, you get what I'm saying? You're trying with the fingertips, yeah, to hold on to who you are.
Yeah.
And you're on your fingertips, you know what I'm saying? Because you're on the biting the lip syndrome. You're on, geez, what's he talking about? But you've got to hold it down, because you know if they start to realize that you've got this rebellious instinct in you, they'll speak about you in their staff room. and they victimize you.
Put it this way: the man blatantly said to me that halfway through reading my essay, he was chuckling to himself. That's what he told me. He said,
see what I'm saying, Blood?
They said there was parts of it that he was just giggling about.
He knows the psychology, doesn't he? Doesn't he? He knows the ploy, doesn't he? How's he chuckling? What's he got to chuckle about?
Exactly.
Unless he knows that this ain't going nowhere, and he says, yeah, right, what you want, but this ain't going no place.
Exactly. I mean, put this, and he also says, well, part of my essay was basically trying to argue that the whole society is endemic when it comes to racism.
Okay.
Racism is an epidemic in the society that we're living in. And it says something about propose some intervention to help solve it. And I was talking about having to rock the very foundation of language.
Okay.
Because language feeds into your psyche.
Yes.
And I was trying to argue that, you know when Malcolm X said, go and look up the words of black and go and look up the word of white.
Yeah.
And you'll see totally different connotations.
Yeah.
Black meaning evil, devil,
yeah,
sin.
yeah.
White and all the rest of it, pure and clean. Hearing to me, what about whitewash? As if to say, to try and debunk my little theory.
Yeah, one word.
Just by saying one word to me, whitewash, as if that's supposed to just knock everything I was saying on the head.
Yeah, for real. And also, whitewash is not the same as white lie, is it? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not the same as a lie. And whitewash is a lighter way of telling lies. So it's still lighter than everything else.
Exactly.
That's why they call it whitewash, because they're trying to say that you're trying to wash over. You're not saying that you're trying to hide it. You know what I'm saying? Like as a black lie or a black sheep or a black day, or you know what I'm saying? Oh, please. You see, this is why I'm saying about our subculture. In our subculture, our political subculture, and our racial and awareness subculture, we know all these things to be bullshit. You get what I'm saying, don't we? But at the end, what can we do? Unless like this African society, like this guy, that Commissioner knows, and yourself, and get together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're simmering here right now, aren't we? We're not really doing much.
Because hearing to me as well, he goes that from reading my essay, it would appear that I am implying that all whites are racist.
Well, see what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. You will always get that argument, though, wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? You'll always, because what you've done is affect his core self, haven't you?
I think what it is, you know how they talk about Freud, and the Freudian projection.
Yeah.
You know that when it's you that's got the problem, but because you don't want to face up to it, you then project it onto the person.
Wow, but they've been doing that for years, Dionne, though. They've been doing that for years, and they're not going to stop doing that, because it's a part of what makes them who they are. Why would you want to give up yourself when you've got all these things that you've been getting, all these these privileges that you get from being this person? It's not easy to give that up. Yeah. So we've got to force them to give it up.
Yeah, because then he says to me, that when he was marking my thing, he then went to the departmental office and looked up what I got in all the other subjects. Okay. And he saw that I blazed through them. I didn't just pass; I got merit. And quite frankly, how could you go from such a good pass rate to just an outright fail?
Yeah. There's something wrong. There's something wrong.
And it just so happens that failure was to do with an essay on race.
Yeah, that's something wrong with that system completely. But again, like we've always talked about in schools, like you've got people that you're dealing with, and these people have little core things in them. You don't know what this person is. You don't know if he's a member of a lodge. You don't know if he's connected to anything to do with some. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's a teacher, and like we have teacher as in teacher special. No way. Teachers are human beings, and that means that they have their own prejudices, their own likes and dislikes. Yeah. And you've obviously pressed his button.
Yeah.
Dionne, we got to shake now, because we run right over time. Okay. Yeah, thanks for your contribution, and I hope
Sorry, Dee, I just want to say, kiss the children for me.
Yeah, I will.
And it's nice to hear your voice.
Yeah.
I hope your old man's alright as well.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay? And just keep fighting him. And one thing in all of this, you've seen all the study that you're doing now. One thing that you must bear in mind, as you've done said it already, the people then, when you study, they will try and make you conform. You you know, and we have too many of our black educated professionals out there,
I know.
and because you got a degree, you get a job, and the job dictates you can't bat out against X, Y, and Z. You're seeing it now, even going through the education system.
Yep.
So, you know, find some way of tackling that and overcoming that, and then come back and let us know.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
You take care.
Okay, you too.
Yeah, DJ B's in the wings. We've had it, you know what I'm saying? It was a nice eventful day, and we had some calls, and you know, some stuff got said and that. It was great. You get what I'm saying? We just keep doing it like this, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna develop some stuff as time goes on, and we're gonna push it to another level, definitely. You get what I'm saying? And I'm hoping all the people who are there, you know, in the wings listening, and you know, feeling the frustration and all that stuff that's happening, we'll still be there when the time comes. You get what I'm saying? And we'll just keep it moving like that. Well, I'm out, and I'll see you. Well, my show is on Saturday, 10 till 12 midnight, Rego Chat Show, which is a whole another level of discussion. So you know what I'm saying? If you're not of good spirit and stable mindset, please do not even bother to listen. Yeah, peace. I'm out.
Okay, London, just a couple pieces of community information. Again, the number for the Deputy Mayor of the London Borough of Lewisham concerning moonshot, 0181 699 1446. That's 0181 699 1446. And remember, you can get hold of the Deputy Mayor and ask them what's happening concerning our building. On the 2nd of March, okay, at number 2 Somerset Road, Tottenham, between the hours of 7:30 p.m. and late, there should be in workshop unit 9 Professor Sali giving a lecture on health, on Mariandina, and you know what it can do for us. And that number, if you want more information, is 0181 808 1464. That is 0181 808 1464. The 2nd of March at 2 Somerset Road, Tottenham, workshop unit number 9. Professor Sadi will be down there. Okay, community information. You heard my brother there as well say, you know, we've got the meeting coming up in April, I believe, of you know, just representation from the whole of Africa at home and abroad, and it will be our time to discuss. Now, you will keep it locked, because Genesis, for their part, the educationalists, or for want of a better word, us that do the talk shows, we are going to be getting together. We're going to try and bring an agenda. We heard you all say that you want meetings, you want us to come out there and talk. We're going to try and do that, okay? We're talking between ourselves. If you have a building that we can use, if you have somewhere that is, you know, you can make it available to us, please do it, so that we can, you know, just come out and deal with the community and do what we have to do. Boy, it's been a beautiful show. You know, and love the reasoning, and as we've heard, it's now time for us to get together, look each other in the face, and say, yeah, we're going to do what we're doing. Professor Sali, I'll give you the information again on the... Okay, sis, I'll give you time to get your pen and paper ready and give you the information on that. Okay, Professor Sali is the one with the product Mariandina. Mariandina is the product that is used to treat AIDS, high blood pressure, sickle cell anemia, you name it. Most of the things that affect us as a black community, see, the Mariandina can be used for. On the 2nd of March at number 2 Somerset Road, Tottenham, a workshop unit number 9, Professor Sali shall be there between the hours of 7:30 and late, giving a lecture on health, our health, and Mariandina. If you want more information on that, 0181 808 1464. That's the number to get you through. Remember, today is the Black Male Health Day Part 2. It's just gone just after 2 now, so it goes up until 10 p.m. Go down there if you want more information on Chai Kong, meditation, yogic breath, body sculpting, or super male vitality. Okay, that's today. And he'll be in here tonight, the Asura Set Society, the head, the founder, and the leader. His name is Shekem Kem Mensi, and he'll be here tonight answering questions over the air and just, you know, talking to us and representing. Until such time, London, DJ B's lining up, and he's been so, you know what I mean, patient that he's giving us a bit of extra time. Take care, you'll keep it locked, and you're going to get some music to rough you up right about now. Say.